So I remember when Jimmy starts doing this pizza oven, and I had some people coming to me, and they're like, do you know what your brother's doing?
What is submarining this company?
What is the truck that Ryan
Here we
buy?
go.
I don't want to talk about it.
What is up, everybody? Mark on the mic, and we've got a full house today. I have Jim to my right, Mr. Ryan Muckenhern across from me, and also Mr. Joe Hamilton of the CARE podcast. You know, we're doing kind of a collaborative podcast today. And speaking of full house, we're in our new house. This is the new studio, guys. You know that. The people out there might not know that. So if you didn't know, this is the new studio. And I'd say, number one, looks real nice. MC Ryan, great work there. Sounds nice. Lighting's great. Feeling really good. But I guess they're kind of looking in right now. But if you came to the Vortex showroom. Oh, they do.
Yeah.
You see, MC Ryan's got us covered. You can come to the showroom. You can watch the podcast go down. Joe, this was a lot your vision, really.
Ish. There was a lot of hands and visions in this, but yeah. So we wanted to have, and everything we do, we want to have it as much interactive. We don't want to be the monolith brand who doesn't connect with the customers. And so obviously we want people to come to our showroom. And so we thought the podcast right next there, window, we got a door. We can snatch people from the showroom, bring them in. I think Ryan was talking about.
Yeah, that's
but yeah, so that's
Joe.
yeah.
We let him go.
Well, and it just we let him go. We've got a great relationship with Barneveld PD, so they can be in on this. But yeah, we wanted to have the interconnectivity with customers, just in everything that we do.
And it's only natural. I was saying that we were in a closet for I don't know how many years, and then the CEO gets a podcast, and suddenly, hey guys, I feel like we really need a podcast room upgrade.
Yes, but as they say, a rising tide raises all ships. So you guys are getting the, drafting off of
even the little fishing boats out in the bay.
Boy, I walked right into that one.
Yeah, tell you what, look out, folks, we got a battleship.
There I am.
Get out of his wake.
There I am, just floating around on a raft, and look at us now.
Joe saved us.
Oh gosh.
What's that in Castaway? Remember that?
Yeah, Wilson.
Yeah,
when he gets picked up.
Yeah,
that was us.
That's right.
There's a funny backstory there. Mark and I, over the course of probably 4 years, watched Castaway in entirety, but in 8 segments. Every time we went to a hotel together,
Really?
Go to a trade show or hunt. Yeah, so
it was either Castaway or the Book of Eli. Those are apparently if you go to a hotel room.
Or ridiculousness.
Well, and that's what you kind of settle on. If you're going to be in and out a lot, you just
right.
I don't have television. Mark doesn't get to watch the television that he wants to watch because he has children. And so when we would go and we'd travel, he'd turn on, as Mark calls it, cable television.
Regardless of the source.
Big deal.
Doesn't matter.
Wait, I didn't know we were paying for that. Where are you guys staying? I mean, geez, I thought it was motels only,
The best part is it always seemed to pick up at the spot that we left off. Maybe just a little before.
It was a bizarre phenomenon.
Yeah. And so
and you did finish it.
We did, yeah.
Okay.
It's handy.
We'd stay in and we'd watch Castaway.
Had you seen it previously?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you knew what you were getting
You
into.
could fill in the gaps if you needed to.
Right. Yeah. You knew where this was going.
I mean, he's lost for a while. Came back, still lost.
Right. And you think he's going to have the happy ending, and hate to ruin it for anybody, but
I think it's been out long enough that if you haven't seen it,
it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And we're not. It's just you've had time.
Right. Even if you're 7. It's your fault when you were born.
Classic us. I didn't even get to one of the other points of this podcast. This is listener Q&A.
That's right. Yeah.
So we solicited the audience for. I didn't mean to that was a really hard shift of gears there, but then it just. I reminded myself, and I was like, oh, we should probably get to the point here.
No clutch.
Yeah, we just dropped the tranny. It is gone, Jim. Listener Q&A. We've curated a bunch of listener questions. We've got some, technical questions. Ryan, those are for you. We've got some fun questions. We've got some care-related questions. And so what do you guys say we dive right in?
We should.
I don't want to lose this banter, though. It's lovely. Ryan, here's one. And I like our answer. Whatever happened to the 212 bore rider and the 308? Question mark, exclamation point.
Should I just answer the question?
Well, I mean,
I thought you guys only like just recently talked about that.
yeah.
We just recently filmed and completed it.
Oh, right.
So as with many things here.
Yeah, I don't want, we just talked about spoiler alerts. Don't spoil it.
Oh. Well, I asked if I should answer the question.
Yeah,
you said
you're the one who asked it.
Well, I think we could just give them an update.
Oh,
You
update.
don't need to give them the findings.
You're the gatekeeper,
I
Mark.
don't know how you update somebody without telling them what happened. Update, we built a rifle. Update, we made phenomenal ammunition with it. We have proofed it to 1,050 yards. It shoots exceptional. Stay tuned to the Vortex Nation podcast and Vortex Nation YouTube channel for more.
Exactly what I was looking for.
That
I
was good.
was worried, but I'm glad I did that. That was good.
Did you see what that's called? That's like a tease.
Yeah.
Yeah, trailer almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Trailer-esque.
I wish we had that cool voice. That
I
they
know. Is that guy still around?
In a world.
do. That's the guy.
Yeah, it's the guy. Yeah.
Okay. Jim, this is probably right up your. It's not just for you, so everybody feel free to answer.
So it's about trucks or something?
I should say Mark _ Hederly asked that first one. We've got Kyle. Oh boy, Jim, what do you think there? Old droid or old Royd?
Kyle Old Roy D.
Okay.
Is it Olrud, like John Olrud?
Not
John,
quite.
The catcher?
that a
Wasn't he
sports
catcher for the
reference?
Mariners?
No, he was the one that wore the batting helmet while he was out in the field.
Okay.
First base, Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't look at me.
We have two in
If we have time at the end, I'll tell a funny Ricky Henderson story with John Olrud. But
think-
we should answer that.
Okay. Well,
You have no idea. I couldn't get any more on the edge of my seat.
Who would win in a fight between a grilled cheese sandwich and a taco? Jim, these are the hard-hitting
Definitely
questions.
Jimmy's.
The people
Definitely
want to
Jimmy's.
know.
I see. I can tell why this was originally directed towards me. It's
Grilled-
obvious.
Is it?
It is. It's very obvious because you talk about taco comes in with all the accolades. It's far more, I would say, it's more grown up, it's more mature than a grilled cheese. And everybody would think, oh, due to the variety of tacos, the the clout that tacos have, it would win in a fight. But it has a glass jaw, and that is its tortilla. And in a fight, you can't go in with a weak jaw. I mean, a grilled cheese could
actually a
slap
pretty
the
good
crap out of a taco, and it would lose all the things that make it special. And a grilled cheese is quite literally glued together with food glue, i.e. melted cheese. So you're
can't
not,
argue with
it's
that.
basically Rocky Balboa. You can punch it all you want, but it ain't giving up. Those two pieces of bread are staying together.
It's playing the long game.
It's playing the long game.
Ryan, you look like you have something to add.
I love the ways mine works.
Right. Yeah.
I love the ways
it's
mine
really-
This is why I never
it's
argue
really
with Jim.
unique.
And if I try to argue with Jim, it's not even deprecation. It's just raw fact.
I remember when he was young, and my mom would say, "Listen, he's special." I mean, and she was
This is
right.
exactly why we sat
Tell you what, it
she
didn't-
was right.
It didn't get me anything.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
it
yeah.
still got picked on
Yeah.
just as much.
Yeah.
If I pose a question to Jim, like via text message especially, it's something I feel is innocuous, but I know is going to like touch that one wire that's live, I get the text bubbles. You know, it's like typing, just bloop, bloop, bloop. And then I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have asked that.
Well, usually,
This is
I
good.
think he told me, he says, "Ryan, nobody talks like that." Isn't that what you say to Ryan?
For what?
Well, it
Oh,
depends.
well, sometimes he uses like he sounds like he's from like the whatever century.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ryan, the town crier, using all of his, all of his
All right.
big
Vocab.
vocabulary.
Big words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to school.
Just a school.
I failed school miserably.
Then what led you
You
to
did
be
not.
this way? You sound so astute.
I used to read books.
You sound like
used to.
I haven't read a book since 2009.
Wow. And there's a lot of you're proud about it.
Yeah.
And you're
what's the
you're
last
proud of this.
What's the last
I mean, it
book
just-
you read?
that's
What
the
did you read in
tone.
$2009?
the last book that I read
Yeah, what is
was by an author named Peter Hathaway Capstick, and it would have been over Iceland when I finished it.
No wonder you haven't read
And
anything.
it would have been Death in the Silent Places.
How many pages was it?
Maybe that's why they haven't read a book since. It sounds depressing.
Phenomenal
It
book.
really ruined him on it.
My favorite part about Capstick is he was a New York, like a Wall Street guy.
Yeah.
But you read him and you think he's a Brit.
Okay.
Because he spent all his time in Africa as a PH, professional hunter. And he writes like a Brit, reads like a Brit, and then you see him like he used to have a video series, and you're like, not a Brit.
Does he write and seem like a Brit because he is dark and okay about it? I've always found that, like,
I think you're going to have to define
people
what
around
Brit.
here, they get their buttons pushed way too easily. Somebody says something, but the Brits, I find they'll say something. It could be the person that you love most in the world, and you just rib them,
Stiff upper lip.
just a drive by, and that person, it's like water off a duck's back. They just carry on.
He's a pretty hard fella, but he wrote with like an interesting eloquence, and then just like the tone and the diction was like that upper crust linguistics.
Oh, that kind of
yeah.
Brit.
But now he's from New York, and he was a Wall Street guy. Shot a lot of elephants and lions.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that was the last book.
So
I read.
Dr. Seuss, nothing since 2000.
Not since. No.
Nothing like.
I'm still trying to work out the Cat in the Hat. And
Got
it's
it.
like,
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
how did he do all that stuff?
Yeah.
Joe, you're a big reader.
I am a big reader. Not as much as I used to be, but I still read a fairly amount.
We've got a question about reading in
All right,
here
let's-
later.
all right.
So
Yeah,
it's
probably
a
not
Great
for
little foreshadowing. Question 3. What are some do's and don'ts for your first time hunting elk or deer in alpine conditions?
Joe and I will just
Yep.
sit over here.
I've got a couple.
Yeah,
I've done
same.
it a handful of times.
Yeah.
I've hunted, I guess, what I consider true alpine in the great state of Washington, Ryan. I don't know if I mentioned this. That's
Do
where
you go?
I'm from there.
You're from
And on
D.C.
state.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't mean to surprise you with this
No, that's all
information.
right. I think you know a guy.
And on Kodiak Island, my tips would be, number one, couple of the tougher hunts that I've been on. And this might be the most obvious thing, but it's going to be gear related. I would bring some sort of traction device for your feet. I use micro spikes. They're fairly lightweight. They slip on and off. You can keep them handy. They're not super pokey that they're going to poke your gear. I just keep them in a pocket on my hip belt.
Yeah.
That would be another tip, though. Keep them handy, because there's sometimes, or the first time I did bring them, but they were buried in my pack somewhere. And so they're like,
You gave up.
You gave up.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll just chance it here because I don't want to go dig for it right now. Or if I had them handy, I could have just slipped them on. And then trekking poles, which I think are really imperative for many hunts, but I'd say in particular that would be my 2 gear things for an alpine hunt. And bring rain gear. I don't care what the weather's going to say.
What's your
rain
don't?
Gear. Don't bring?
Well,
Or just
do's and don'ts.
do.
A don't would be, I don't know. I guess I don't have any major don'ts.
To do
Don't-
and do
don't-
not to do.
Don't put your tent in a low spot
Oh,
that may collect water.
yeah.
I've done that before
Yeah.
because those spots are very attractive.
Oh, sheltered.
They're sheltered. They're out
Usually,
of the
like,
way. There's a
gentle.
nice little dip, a little swale to sleep in. Generally, it's been collecting water, so it's got some nice little soft foliage that you just.
Just want to lay on.
And then I guess, if you really do check the weather and it looks nice, maybe just you can chance it.
Yeah.
But don't.
I'd say my biggest do, also gear related, is make intelligent selections on equipment. Ask somebody who's done it quite a bit. Don't take brand new boots into the field. Do have a group of buddies that enjoy carrying heavy things over long distances through rough terrain. Don't try to solo an elk if it's your first time. I mean, unless you're into that kind of thing, do expect them to be. You do expect them to be heavier than you train for.
Yeah.
The first time I threw an elk quarter on my back, I laughed. I was like, that is substantially heavier than anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. My other first time, do set your tent up in your yard before you go.
Oh yeah, and do pack train.
Do pack train and
Yeah.
do get to know your pack.
Yes,
all the straps. Load it up with weight and do all the things because all those straps are there for a reason, but it may not be. And when I mean load it up, I mean put your rifle on it. Figure out how everything's going to integrate. Your top lid, all the things.
Would you guys be so? Michael Phelps, he's training for the Olympics, and his coach would like step on his goggles, crack them. Then he'd have to go, practice
Intentionally.
Yes, because he wanted him ready for anything. So when you guys are gearing up, no pun intended, with all your stuff, do you inadvertently tear a shoelace when you're training, or have you done any of this?
I've never intentionally
made your training harder because to get you ready for the unknown.
Kind of. One thing that I do is I train in my actual boots, and so I see folks on the route that I take. And like any repetition's good repetition, right?
Yep.
I see them out there with like an athletic shoe on, and I understand what they're doing. But then you strap like 5 pounds of boots on your feet, and it's a completely different dynamic as you like go over the terrain. To go from a hiking shoe to a full grain leather, steel shanked 10-inch boot it's totally different. It's like you have different legs. And then
or walking with running shoes on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Versus like training in uneven terrain.
Yeah.
With the heavy boots on.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
But like I would say actually as much as I love trekking poles, I don't pack train with my trekking poles because I want to
it's like a boost when you actually find
a boost.
Yeah. It's like hitting one of those oxygen containers.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it's like extra nice.
I'll never forget.
When you have them.
Not having trekking poles in Nebraska and
Facts.
16-inch deep snow.
All right, so I have one for you. Why don't you get one of those oxygen masks, the reverse oxygen masks?
Oh, the ones that make it harder to breathe?
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think they work. I don't think
that's
it actually works.
That's probably why they aren't a thing anymore. Yeah.
I remember I used to see some guys like that, and it was like having Bane in the weight room next to you, and then you just hear this guy
tryhards.
I think,
and you'd be like, dude, just like breathe.
Right.
I think if you're interested in being lightheaded, go for it.
Yeah. Real quick, though, on that question, everything you guys mentioned was gear-related. Is that because this Alpine hunt is... I guess what I'm trying to get at is, like, can anyone do it? It's just a matter of taking the right stuff and, like, having the right, like, preparedness in terms of what you'll encounter, like, with the elements, with the weather, with the terrain. Because nothing you guys mentioned was about, like, oh, here's the way that the elk act in this area. Is it pretty standard elk activity? You're just in a really brutal place?
I mean, I think in the it's going to be an optics intensive hunt. You got high country, open country, it's bigger. You're going to want to do a lot of glassing. I would say, I mean, I'm not a backpack hunting pro. I never claimed to. I enjoy it. I enjoy that it's probably the thing that tests me physically and mentally the most, right? And that's part of what I'm trying to get out of it. And I'm trying to, I guess, grow that muscle, right? Because like I said, I'm not all pro when it comes to that stuff. But I would say those hunts, at least the ones that I've been on, are the most mentally and physically demanding things that I've done. So I would say work your way into it too. Do an overnight, do a 2-day hunt, do things locally.
Yeah.
It's also a great chance to run your gear before you go on a little bit more of a serious expedition.
Another thing too, slow down. Like I've run into a lot of folks in the field and hunted with a couple of them where they're like all gas, no brakes. And it's different when you're at Devil's Lake State Park or you're around here, but you get into altitude, you get into shale, and you get into like all the other things. Like, you break your leg on some of these hunts. It's a helicopter ride out, and like, don't go too fast. Like, just knock it back about a mile per hour.
Right on. Especially
when you put
like you're going to see more if you do that too.
Yeah, and you put 60 to 80 pounds of weight on your back on your X-Fill, and it's a whole different thing.
So yeah, I mean, mostly it sounds like just be ready for a pretty brutal place.
Yeah.
But enjoy that because
yes,
it sounds like something
very enjoyable,
really awesome. I've never done it, but it sounds super cool.
We should
talk.
You
would like it, Jim.
Yeah, we should talk, Jim.
Sure, let's add that to the list of hunts that we should go on that we never will.
We should talk.
Okay,
we got some big ideas, Jim.
I know you guys have big ideas. Some of them get a little old sometimes.
got a. Oh, there we go. I got a
fresh pen.
Freshie. Yeah.
Oh, we got to take that
Wow.
little. We got a name for that? Little plastic.
You know the guy who made this? $1 million. Made $1 million.
That's all, huh?
He's probably making more than that. Jim, you might. The car related, but for everybody, how many guys is too many?
In a Tacoma, one.
To put. It doesn't specify the size of
You'll
the
weigh it
truck,
down too
but
much.
to put in a single truck on a cross-country hunting trip or just road trip in general.
Well, that's kind of a funny question, I guess, because it kind of depends. Because, like, okay, so Mark and I
don't think it does.
Oh, it
You don't
depends.
think so?
It depends.
Mark and I, we took a pretty clapped out Subaru Forester once all the way to Wyoming, and we packed Cooper Long, video guy, in there like a piece of luggage. And we actually sort of like Tetrised him in there and put luggage on top of him.
His
and then,
spine has never been the same also.
No, but he didn't complain. And we took him all the way out to Wyoming.
Well,
and
was he an
back.
intern at the
Jim,
time, or was he
he
full time?
He was new.
He was new.
couldn't because his esophagus, the way he was,
Yeah,
it was
we
crushed.
There's Mark's sleeping bag was kind of like in his mouth, but we did that, and like so that was 3 guys in this kind of a small car. Is it a Tacoma? Real question. And Ryan actually knows this, and he's giving me the face like, "Don't go there, don't go there," but I am. In a Tacoma, back seats, miserable.
They're not great.
You've taken yours out
I put them back in
But
for a cross-country trip.
with whom?
Myself, Corey Schaefer,
And a
Travis
torso.
Jones, and Travis Jones. I will say this:
Did you rotate who was in the back?
not really.
Tough
So
scene.
I drove the full way down. So it was about, I think, just shy of 20 hours on the way down. Schaefer stayed up front because he looked at the back seat. I was like, why don't you and Jonesy rotate? You can rack out back there and sleep. And he looks at me and goes, I don't think so, boss. And so Jonesy curled up like a kitty in the back and took a nap. And then on the way back, I said, I was like 14 hours in. I was like, I probably need to sleep a little bit or I'll kill us all. And so I then curled up in the back. Now I can do that. I can sleep in the back of my taco and do on the regular. It's not great. Trucks are like tents. If you look at the seating rating of most trucks, divide that number by 2, and that is the answer. So if your truck holds 5, you can comfortably hold 2.5 people.
2.5 people.
Yeah. So a Tacoma seats 5. That is a lie. A Tacoma seats 3.
Yeah, 3 is a 3. I think 3 is a nice number in a truck because you know with a truck, and it's like, does it have a topper on the back? Does it have a tonneau cover on the back? Does it have nothing over the back? Because then it's like if you have nothing over the back of your truck and you're going on a cross country trip and you're going to be hunting, whether parking it in parking lots and just leaving stuff out in the open, you need to use the cab, and so then everything just gets full. So it's a very it depends question.
It is.
We went out
is,
to
but-
Nebraska in the mega cab.
We were fine.
Oh, we were in luxury.
Yes. Yeah, cab dependent.
Yeah.
The truck I'm looking at, which I won't say in front of Jim because he'll yell at me.
Roasted.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's still looking at this, by the way.
Because you know how I am
Which
when it comes
one is
to
it?
buying things.
It is a, well, of course, it's a GMC 2500 with the AT4 package in iWork construction white
Yes.
and whatever.
We just lost all our construction workers.
Not that there's anything wrong with working construction,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's you have a choice in colors. The company isn't telling you what color to buy.
Well,
I think
now-
Jim's just implying it-
west, all the
you know,
fellas out there drive white trucks and that deer don't go
So,
running.
Jimmy, what is the truck that Ryan
here
should
we
buy?
go.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I do. I want to
don't
hear
wanna
about
talk- I
it.
don't
Just,
wanna-
let's
you
give
don't
me
wanna
the,
say.
just give us the model,
I don't
make
wanna
and model and color.
I don't want to say. I'm a Ford guy. Dyed in the wool. And
You know what Ford
just-
stands for, don't you?
yeah, it stands for
Easy.
Yeah. It stands for fix or repair daily, which actually I hate when people think they're really clever when they say that because it's actually a redundant phrase. It's like saying fix or repair. It's the same thing.
Same thing. Yep.
So,
But which Ford?
I'm a Ford guy.
But you got to understand that,
and I
Jim,
think
if you're not a fan of a Ford, you wouldn't know that.
True. That's right. We can't hold them to a higher standard. But it's
lowest common denominator.
Comment below. What's your favorite truck?
I'm all blue. He wants a 2500. I think that's great. Get yourself a Super Duty. And then my answer is always older is better because then we avoid the emissions and we avoid the death and we avoid all that stuff. But then Ryan gets on me about it's got too many miles and they want too much for it. And stuff. That's because
I drive a lot. I drive 25,000 miles a
I
year
drive
minimum.
a lot. And for whatever reason, you still think that I don't do real truck stuff.
You do now.
He was talking about that just the other day.
You see, he said kind of. Why the kind of?
Every so often, like Jim and I's relationship is great. It's one of my best friends.
And then it falls out of the sky.
The text chain is like a nice regular thing, and then he'll send me a picture of like his truck covered head to toe in mud, and there's like a tree in the back of it. And he like chose violence that day. He's like, still don't think I do real truck stuff. Just so you know, I drove this through the forest. I cut down this 110-foot tree and pulled it out with my truck. Yours would break in half.
Did I need to kill the tree? No, but I'm proving a point.
It's like
I don't know. It's a very long conversation to get into what truck Ryan should have.
Steering wheel, right side or left side, Jim?
I mean, honestly, if variety is the spice of life, I like to have one of each. Then you never get tired of it.
Fair enough. General rule of thumb, I would say, I'm speaking in generalities. I think for a cross-country road trip, I'm going with 3 people optimal max. You can do 4. That way nobody's middled.
But it does depend on the bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some people rolling around with a naked open-to-nature bed. And there's things you just
don't
want to put back there.
I'm saying that you aren't doing that.
Okay, fair enough. You got a tonneau or a box.
Something.
Okay.
Good talk, guys. I think you guys have a few more things to work out there.
We'll be fine. It'll be a hey, how's your garden text later tonight.
Can't wait till we're old. I'm going to drive up with the truck you just hate. You'll be on your porch. Be like grumpy.
Go away, leave. Oh, honey, it's Ryan. Can you come in for
No, we can't.
I don't want to see him.
He's offensive.
Yeah.
This is more of an update, which I guess we can't fully update, Ryan. I'm full of half updates today. Who won the Vortex Dream Build experience? Answer, somebody did. Yeah. And number 2, thank you if you did submit your application.
Remind everybody what it was.
So the Vortex Dream Build experience was a solicitation from us to the public to essentially provide us with their why of why they should be selected for the Dream Build experience, which was for them to come visit us here at Vortex, have a great time, show them around a little bit, build their dream rifle. That's the meat of it. We build their dream rifle, and then we go shoot the darn thing a little bit.
Now, do they tell you their dream rifle?
So they did
in their submission.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you respond similar to when Ryan told about his dream truck?
Yeah. You want that for your dream gun? Well, let me tell you why that dream is stupid. You should build my gun.
We just picked.
So you're very affirming.
You just picked the person who had. You just picked the person that had the dream build that was like yours.
Yes, we are very affirming to one person who will be getting their dream build.
Who chose correctly.
It is. And so I gotta say, was it 3,000 plus change entries?
Something like
3,000 entries.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look.
And you read every one.
Here's the crazy part. Read or watched the videos. Mark Boardman alone. Because he disappeared.
I can't get him to reply to an email from 2017, and he went through 3,000.
He disappeared for
videos
about
and
a
emails.
month, and I thought I did something or said something to him because
that email got it got put as spam folder.
Got
or
it,
something.
spam folder.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll have IT look into it.
And so
we switched email servers. It got lost.
I was kind of sweating this because I was like, man, this is going to be a nearly insurmountable amount of work, and. So I think it just like touched base. I was like, hey, how do you want to divide and conquer? He's like, well, I've got it narrowed down to 10. And I'm like, wait, what? How many I thought maybe we got like 100, 200. He's like, no, it was like 2,983 or something like this.
It was a big number.
It was a staggering amount.
I mean, it was so cool to get that many people to, submit their why, and some really cool stories.
Yep.
I mean, it was hard.
It was hard.
It was really hard. I had like a top 50 and then a top 25 and really ones that ultimately didn't get selected. They were still deserving in so many ways. And that was the other interesting thing too, was you're like, oh, well, this is the right pick for this reason or this set of reasons. This is the right pick for this set of reasons. They were all so different. There was definitely some trends.
I mean, that's a hard task.
Yeah.
It was.
Nearly 3,000 to pick one.
And
so then ultimately, Joe, I just, pulled a name out of a hat. No.
The Cougs hat.
So many video submissions, which I thought was super cool.
Very cool.
It wasn't just like a run-on sentence.
Right.
It was like video submissions, like really well thought out stuff. And then Mark, I, and Eric locked ourselves in, what's the one upstairs, Arches?
Yeah.
And we had the whiteboard full. It looked like
whiteboarded
a beautiful,
it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So it was like we'd watch the video and then like I'd sketch up there like, okay, I think conceptually the individual wants this, and here's where this would be like compelling for their use case. And
we kind of set a set of parameters.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Was the intention that the dream build would be for hunting, or was it just
whatever
like a
they
dream
wanted?
gun?
Yeah,
whatever they wanted.
So
to do.
if it ended up, and like stay tuned, like we're going to talk about it. The person we selected for this, the application is largely, in fact, totally hunting. But we didn't have it didn't have to be a hunting rifle. If somebody wanted a Dream F-class rifle or a Dream 3
But they know already, the person that won.
Yeah.
They know.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
And great guy, you're going to love him.
When is he coming out?
Early August.
Yeah.
Early August.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's coming
Coming
up.
quick.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is a
he'll be
big
here.
deal.
And I think the last of the components arrived yesterday.
Yep.
And Ryan and I, we peaked.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be real nice.
Get any AK-47 submissions?
You'd have to ask Mark.
Mine must not
No.
have made it. Mine
Yeah,
must not
yours
have
got
come
lost
through.
in the
Okay.
spam folder.
All right.
Wi-Fi issue.
Yeah.
Kind of another. The people want to know. Rock Chalk 06. I haven't been. That was crazy
Kansas
_
guy.
elk 06. Now we have Rock Chalk 06. A lot of 06s out there. We should do a wrist check on all the guys, which I googled that, and it means like kind of a fit check on the watch that you wear.
A watch. Oh, and also
You
got one of
sometimes.
these
Oh
guys.
no, actually, you don't. Well, sometimes you have a watch on.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm in fact on my way to work today. I didn't know this question was in there, and then on my way to work today, I was like, damn, I forgot my watch.
Whoops.
And here we are.
I feel naked.
So I know. Ryan, what do you got there?
I have a now discontinued, unfortunately, Sunto Traverse Alpha.
Joe, what do you got?
Well, I got a whoop on this side.
Double.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you got something on both.
I got on both.
What's the
What's
whoop,
the other
Joe?
time zone telling us on the other side?
This guy is, it's going to tell your step count, your heart rate. I'm on the fence. I'm thinking about giving it up because it gives you like a sleep score, recovery score, right? So my whole thing is I don't check it till tonight.
Yeah.
Because it gets in your head. So if you wake up and you feel great, and then you look down, it's like, oh, your sleep score is really low. It kind of can get in your head. So I think I'm probably done with the Whoop. It helped initially for maybe the first month or two. I could kind of dial some things in, but I think it's probably going to go. I don't think it's here for long. And this is not a very expensive watch. I didn't even know the brand. It's about vintage. It's just a chronograph. I kind of like I've always liked the look of the leather band. So nothing fancy schmancy.
My watch is a Damasco, and I kind of wanted to always get like a watch that I would get and I would just have forever and then hand down to my kids someday. And then naturally, when I feel like you look at a watch like that, I wanted it to be an automatic movement so that it was powered by my movement. And then it would be like someday it's like, oh, wow, okay, like dad moving around kept this watch alive. And so I really needed it to be
very thoughtful.
I really needed it to be tough though. And there's a lot of like tool watches that are like this that are tough, but then as I just did like this super deep dive,
A lot of real truck work. You need a tough watch.
Yeah. Well, and then I mean being around
I
like
gave you that option and you just didn't take it. I just I thought I would tee it up for you.
being around like if you with an automatic watch, like if you stick your arm in like the engine bay of a vehicle or something like that, and like you're around you got to be careful. Obviously, there's a fan in there sometimes. But if it's running and you're around an alternator, like magnetic fields can mess them up and stuff. So the Damasco, if you look it up, there's like all kinds of stuff that makes it basically like bomb-proof. It's got like submarine steel that's used to this thing called tegumenting, which is like super hardening the steel.
They're making that up.
They might be. But you know what?
We're going to add tegumented to our optics
I
here.
ate it up.
Um,
And it's got a whole lot of stuff that makes it very durable. And I thought it was super cool.
So no surprise, Jimmy was very opinionated on watches. And he has swung the pendulum from a very nice watches to very cheap watches. Was a huge cheap watch fan.
Me?
Yes.
What are my cheap watches?
Well, didn't you have like the Casio?
Oh yeah, I was a big Casio guy.
Big cat, like $14.99.
Well, because I was like, well, if I'm just gonna break it, I'll just get the cheap one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, well maybe I'll get a nice one.
And then he
that
reached
doesn't
out with
break.
one of his texts saying, and saying, which of these do you like? And I had to get the full tigmentation or whatever he called that. And he gave me the whole rundown. And now he's back with the bomb proof.
It's true.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it's been solid. I have already beat on it pretty good.
I like the satin. metal.
Yeah, that matte finishes.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Very nice.
That's the tigmenting process.
Oh, very well.
I tried to also not get something that was like super pretentious, you know.
Yeah,
as much as I want to,
but
like,
it's understated.
as much as everyone who likes watches is like, gotta own a Rolex someday.
Yeah,
it's also like, okay, well, if I'm like preg checking cows with the vet or something like that, and I show up with a Rolex on, like,
they're not going to let you.
I thought you just didn't want people to know that you're pretentious.
I have other ways.
Yeah, just give them a food opinion. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of compelling thought and features in that watch, Jim. That's pretty cool.
I talked about mine way more than I guess you guys talked about yours.
Well, I don't have one. If I was wearing a watch,
Ryan Sunto is though. Like, does it still work? It does all the things.
It does.
It
Yeah, it still does the things. Yeah, it's a great watch.
That's good.
Yeah, I think they.
It's
client,
immense.
I have those little bird wrists. That's the problem.
That's it is. It's an optical
It
illusion.
is because I'm a tall guy.
Yeah,
but I have my very small Hungarian mother's frame, and it's like this is It's a standard dial, and
so you got the Hungarian waist and up is Hungarian.
Let's not get into
yeah.
waist and down stuff.
Yeah, I have long legs.
He's got long legs.
MC Ryan, if you just
can we beep that out?
Whether there's two of them or not, I don't know.
So the watch that I like.
Hey, nice watch.
Pretty nice watch you got there.
You believe they don't have dividers between these?
Oh God!
Got him.
Sniper.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh! I don't even know. It doesn't even matter.
Do you want me to read?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know I like to be in control of the printouts.
I am aware.
Big paper guy over there.
I even brought this extra set of printouts that I'm not going to let you have.
We've got some copier paper too, in case that's needed.
We can print more.
We can print more,
if we get in a pinch. Garmin Instinct Solar 2, I think. That's the watch that I genuinely wear.
Did you just keep picking words out of a hat as you started naming
No,
it?
that's
Garmin, Solar, Instinct 2.
That's pretty much it. It's been a good watch. Tells time. Does a lot of other stuff too. Lots of buttons.
Yeah.
Need the buttons.
This one, Ryan, please give us, this is more of just a request. Please give us more information about the 6.5 Plus Peak. There's so much misinformation.
Oh, it's a tremendous amount. I was just on the phone with my good friends over at Barnes.
At Fun Bike Guy 7.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
And so I had a conversation with the fellas at Barnes, and I've had a couple of conversations with other industry folks. Few things I want to tell you right away. It is reloadable. It is not going to decrement your barrel life to the degree that you would think it does. Because, again, we're not putting more propellant down the barrel. Slightly more, but not substantially more, right? So if we compare this with 6.5 PRC, which is what the direct comparison is from like a ballistic standpoint, a 6.5 PRC is burning 10 to 15 grains more powder. That's where your recoil is coming from. That's where your barrel life reduction is coming from. it is reloadable. I will say that again because a lot of folks are saying it's simply not. It does have more recoil energy to the tune of about 2 foot-pounds. So add 122 LR's worth of recoil to your standard 6.5 Creedmoor, and that's approximately what you're going to get.
I mean, we shot them side by side.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I haven't understood this one.
Appreciate that technical addition you had there.
Well,
Ryan.
I think that's a in-person anecdotal field test.
Experiential.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I haven't understood this one, but folks that believe that that's not that big of a deal. 275 feet per second addition to that diminutive little case on a cartridge that has already taken the world by storm is huge. That is huge. And maybe don't focus on that cartridge if it's not your favorite cartridge. And I understand that. But
also, I would say if it wasn't before, it certainly could be now.
Oh, yes. Without question. But the technology and what it represents, and I'm not stating specifically Federal and Peak Alloy, and I'm not stating specifically shell shock technologies in the NAS3, but that vein of thinking is what we have had to have happen for the better part of a century to see meaningful ballistic improvement without all the negatives that come with adding gobs of powder, inches of barrel, pounds of weight. Until we can figure out how to make propellant technology in like a solid form instead of a granular form, or we can, something else radical, like this is the thing that moves the needle into the next generation.
We've said it 100 times, but high pressure is the next evolution of cartridge technology. And Ryan, you're talking about you don't have to go with a longer barrel. You don't have to add, in fact, you're going to be getting increased performance and decreasing the length of your barrel.
Because for so long, it feels like cartridges have been the menu at Taco Bell. It's the same 5 ingredients, just mixed around a little bit.
All delicious.
All delicious. Big fan. But yeah, like something really fundamentally needs to change in order for us to actually get something that's, remarkably.
And you're saying it's arrived.
We're here. The ship has landed. The creatures have walked off of it. They are coming in peace to save the world.
That's exactly
a relief.
That's exactly how I was going to put it.
That's a huge relief.
And I'm really trying to.
My sleep score is going to be great today.
I'm really trying to get folks to see the forest through the trees on this one, because what this is also doing, aside from giving you a absolutely unquestionable performance upgrade, just the raw numbers, what this is also stimulating in the industry is we are now seeing barrel technologies that have not been commercially implemented that have huge effects on barrel life, on bullet deformation, the forces that are being put on the bullet upon the detonation sequence. We're seeing barrel treatments that are further increasing velocity potential, further increasing barrel life. We're seeing suppressor manufacturers check the boxes and say we can make them lighter, stronger, faster. And the trickle down effect, not just the performance of the ammunition itself, but also any of the accessory or ancillary products that come with it are getting better. And so it's what a hell of a time to be alive as a shooter. All the best things are happening at the same time.
Do you think that I would disrupt the market at all if, hear me out, some ammunition is designed to be able to be wet? Presumably it wouldn't get to the dry powder beneath the bullet in the case.
Yeah.
Presumably one might be able to keep in liquid in the case. Race gas.
Sure.
In there.
Do you think would I
really shake up the market?
Little nitro, what is that stuff called? Turbo Blue? Yeah. I've tasted Turbo Blue. It's not good.
What about 2,000 flushes blue?
You think we get some impressive results?
It's possible. I don't know that anybody's gone that direction.
That's why
would you call it?
A liquid fuel.
What's your name?
I don't know. I feel like I could partner with Quick Trip on it and just call it the Quick Trip. The 6.5 Quick Trip.
Ooh, licensed deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Patent pending.
Patent pending.
Play.
Yep.
We're good.
Yeah.
We got it. We got it locked.
We're gonna get legal on this ASAP.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a great name though.
Yeah.
I do like the
for the
2,000
cartridge.
flushes. That was a good callback. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if they're still around. It's a great product.
We'll see you on Shark Tank, Jim. getting that licensing deal.
It sounds good.
That crowd's really going to go for it.
I feel like this ties right back into the previous one. I'll go first. What is one rifle? I'm going to give two. What is one rifle and caliber that will never give way? 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor.
And the rifle.
Two. Rifle and caliber.
Oh, there's a rifle in there.
Oh, cripes. Do I have to pick like a specific production rifle? I don't know what he means by the bolt.
Someone
action.
at one point would have said
bolt action 6.5 Creedmoor.
Well,
I like that answer.
Yeah.
Come on. Like someone at one point would have said the Remington 700 and 308.
Yeah.
And then that got a little shaky at one point.
Yeah.
Ryan.
I like the answer of bolt action. The problem is, Mark, is that with all these technologies that we're talking about, we're going to start thinking about the physical makeup of bolt rifles differently. And there are people that are already doing this. The team over at Seekins Precision have released and are working on some unreal disruptive technologies with the way that they do things. And I think like really forward thinking there. But it's going to be really hard to replace a Ruger American. Like there's a gun that has been so well established at such a price point for as long as it has now. And that'll be a tricky one. And the Tikka T3. As far as cartridges that'll never go away, 308 Winchesters. We will die as a species. Some other species will.
They'll pick it up and carry
What
it.
about it versus cockroaches? Who's coming out?
308.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Some
Nice.
other species will.
Great for your larger cockroaches as well.
Yeah.
Too.
They'll come to fruition, and their version of David Attenborough will find it and be like, "This is unbelievable," and then resurrect it, and it will continue on. Yeah.
I got a question.
James.
Do you think that Ruger has sold more Ruger Americans, in 6.5 Creedmoor or 308 Winchester?
6.5 Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like if you look at something that's been out much longer than a Ruger American, you look historically, obviously 308. But Ruger American came out right at that like upswing of the 6.5 Creedmoor. And yeah, it's kind of interesting that rifle you can look at historically as seeing the impact of the 6.5 Creedmoor and that it's had on the shooting community from its inception versus, obviously, like I said, you go back way in history and it still has a long way to go. But
big footprint.
Huge footprint,
Short
very
amount of time.
quickly. And like you said, one that's not really going to go anywhere quickly. What a cool thing to be able to do in the 2010s about that ballpark, to be able to come out with a cartridge in a time in history when cartridges have been out for hundreds of years, and to come out with one that still had the it factor to permeate everything about the shooting and hunting community. You would think that it's just so like, no, we there's no way we could come out with another cartridge that would be like this huge deal. And it happened.
In my lifetime, it is the cartridge that has seen like the
biggest rise
of success. For
and the humble PST Gen 1. Nothing goes together like peanut butter and jelly except PST Gen 1s and
Ruger Americans.
Ruger
Americans.
6.5s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say another very one specific PST Gen 1, the PST Gen 1 624x50 on a Savage 110 BA in 338 Lapua.
Yeah.
That is a setup.
That's a deadly combo. That's deadly combo.
And it does kill.
Yeah.
We sold a lot of those PSTs.
Ask me how I know.
Ask me. Grab my arm.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I'm just going to keep rolling with the theme here. What should manufacturers do now that Peak, this isn't our words, this is at Carl_work. What should manufacturers do now that Peak Alloy took everyone's lunch? And I think, Ryan, you alluded to that. This is an evolution in cartridge design. I would have to speculate that they are not the only folks working on something like this.
Certainly not.
Get on board.
I mean, like you said, you mentioned, the shell shock and AS3 stuff. It's we're going to live in a pretty wild world here, I think, at some point.
Yeah. So ammunition manufacturers act accordingly. Rifle manufacturers test and produce to meet that need now that customers have to chamber those rounds in those guns because folks are going to want to, like point blank. It's like you come out with that kind of technology, like the expectation is on the table. And I can understand like the trepidation too. Some rifle manufacturers saying simply we don't know because it is very new and they haven't had a chance to really go through the iterative process of testing, and it is not something that happens overnight. And
I mean, stands to reason they're going to be conservative with their claims.
Yeah, and I get that completely. And again, there's also regulatory bodies and organizations that are somewhat dictative of this being adopted at that level. And so, like, write your representatives at SAMI and say, like, hey, it's 2026. 80,000 PSI isn't even new necessarily. It's been out for a while. Like maybe we need to investigate moving the bar because now the 62,500 PSI ceiling is not. That's not it anymore. Like
we almost need just to add a new category.
Yeah, HPA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Simple.
Let's normalize this.
Speak of normalizing things, and this is another one of those hard-hitting questions. This is something that you might get broached on Craig's News.
Craig's News.
At _ Mikey V _ sauerkraut on your brats.
Oh, this might be an internal.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I really don't know, but I know that somebody asked me this question because we have a lot of food debates here at Vortex.
Maybe it's just because it's really important.
And they asked that to be one of the questions that we come up with. But
well, you're talking, Jim.
Yeah, sorry. But I'm a big sauerkraut fan. I like sauerkraut on a brat.
Yeah, you got that from Dad. I'm a hard no. I'm a hard no.
Hard no.
Yeah.
Don't like rotten cabbage, huh?
No, I'm not a fan of sauerkraut. Yeah, so that might be Mom. Yeah, Dad will put sauerkraut on anything. But yeah, not
sauerkraut and mustard.
Yeah.
I did fight it off for a while though. You never want to end up exactly like your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden
you realize you're exactly like your dad.
Oh no. It is really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently it's good for you.
That's what they say.
It's like good, bacteria for the gut. But
a lot of cultures have their own kind of version of some kind of a rotten cabbage.
Yeah. Kimchi?
Kimchi is one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I wouldn't put kimchi on my brat.
Yeah. No.
Well, at least not the kimchi I've tried. I've tried some kimchi, and I think people are always trying to do a little something with it.
Is it the number one thing you put on your brat? Is that the sauerkraut?
I'm kind of upset if I have a brat without sauerkraut now.
Okay.
I like the cold, crispy texture of it on a hot brat. Like it's a nice little
contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It makes me want a brat.
Ryan, you described it as rotten cabbage. Is this a no for you?
So no, my old boss used to call it rotten cabbage. Loved sauerkraut. He used to make sauerkraut by the 5-gallon bucket because his mother taught him how. And he would always say if we would go somewhere to a restaurant or like we had a cookout at work, he'd be like, "You want some rotten cabbage?" I love sauerkraut. I eat it from the jar with a fork.
Okay, my man.
Yeah, it's very good.
I mean, you can probably tell by my reaction. #agree. Big sauerkraut fan.
Yeah, I could see it in the eyes.
Oh, I mean,
yeah, I could see it.
Because they're lighting
your
up.
eyes really tell the story.
His pupils dilated pretty hard.
Is that from?
That's from Elf. When the guy's he's being interviewed by the one.
Yeah,
you're really great. I'm a really big fan. So anyway, your eyes really tell the story. So what's going on over here?
Yeah, big sauerkraut fan. Yes, I want on my brat a Polish dog loaded up with sauerkraut. I like mustard and ketchup. A lot of people are like anti-ketchup on their brat, I feel.
Is that a thing?
I think it's a thing.
Is it a thing doing ketchup on your brat or being anti-ketchup on your brat?
Well, apparently it's both.
No, I'm saying, which one are you more surprised?
I was
more
more surprised that people were anti.
I think some folks are. They think it's sacrilege to put only mustard on a brat. I like both.
They think brat is like too grown up.
Well, it's like going to a high-end steak place and you're like, hey, is there any A1 around here?
Yeah.
I mean, I do agree.
A1 on a burger?
I have not done that, but I mean, man, they get antsy.
They should.
They got it in the back.
They should. They're right, actually.
They got it in the back somewhere, and the chef spits in it every time he
Sure.
hawks a loogie.
Send it to table 13.
Like
Oh, gosh. This day one tastes like Levi Garrett. Weird. Yeah, I too.
Flavor?
I'll eat sauerkraut from the jar, and I did read that unpasteurized sauerkraut is the best for your gut. I don't know why.
So
also, I'm not a doctor, so I didn't recommend that.
What that would be is in milk terminology, it'd be raw sauerkraut, which is kind of a weird dichotomy of words.
I'd be
Some
interested
folks would want that to be illegal
at the next birthday party.
We're
going to put that as a question because even though I'm in the minority here, I think it's closer to 50-50. I don't think it's 75-25 in the whole building here. Pro sauerkraut on Brat. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
This is Wisconsin.
That's a good point.
As an import, I'm going to tell you, I read the room wrong when I came out here.
What were you? What'd you think?
The passion that the Scotty has for
Scotty things,
a Scotty thing, beer, cheese, the Packers, and bratwursts.
You underestimated us
completely because I thought it was like. They say that stuff about people.
I mean,
because you're from Minnesota and it's all show, no substance. And so you thought
West Wisconsin.
You thought, or was he West Wisconsin? I think you were Minnesota.
No, that's what I call Minnesota.
And where in Minnesota again?
Small little farming community called Hutchinson, which I call Northern Iowa, actually.
Oh, so it's southern Minnesota.
Oh,
it's but no, the
I'm from Northern Iowa. Well, it's West Wisconsin, actually Minnesota,
east side of the West Coast. Next up. This might be between Joe and Jim here. When will we see the Revival Cattle Co. Vortex Optics Pizza Oven collab videos?
That's definitely Jimmy, but I'm going to weigh in with the pizza.
That's how
story.
The French say it.
Well, yeah, we should just, I guess, at any given point. The platform was the thing that kind of melted the pizza oven a little bit because we would put, just like some behind the scenes, we would put up a pizza oven video on the Instagram story, and it would get a fair amount of views. And the thing that we liked the most was the comments, was that we would get messages, DMs from people, and they'd be like, you can't do that, or like, oh, that looks really good, whatever it was. What scope should I put on a Savage Model 110 BA? That would be sometimes just a direct question when they would see like something in the pizza oven, which is kind of funny. But then Instagram moved to this point. All of a sudden, it was like we'd put a pizza oven video up on the Instagram story, and then they were trying to do they were trying to promote other things, and then it would just like no messages would come in. And the viewership was like way down, and like we didn't really change anything, but he just like no messages at all.
I would say once a week to once every 2 weeks, I get a DM.
People still want it.
Let's say, bring back the pizza oven.
I guess we just gotta find a way to make sure they see it.
What year was it introduced? I feel like it's 2017, 2016.
2016.
So 2016. So I remember when Jimmy starts doing this pizza oven, and I had some people coming to me, and they're like, "Do you know what your brother's doing?" And I was like,
he is
what is
submarining this company.
Yeah.
It sounds like a loaded question.
That is what I like. No, what's he done now? And so they said, well, he's doing this pizza oven bit and they're like, we sell optics. Like, what is going on?
It's not even pizza.
Yeah.
It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich. Yeah. So I thought, so I kind of checked it out. I thought it's a little bit unique, a little bit different, but I'm like, I think I know where he's going. We're always talking about why we've got the glass here is we always want to connect with the audience. We don't want to just be this, monolith brand, only cares just about the optics and the product that we sell. Although we do care about that. And so anyways.
We care about pizza and related items that you can put in a pizza oven.
Yes. And there was a small contingent, very vocal contingent, that was very anti-pizza oven. And so, I was like, man, maybe I should talk to him about it. But then we started to have our top retailers would come in. And so we'd be going out to dinner, going out to lunch. We'd be talking. Their sales are going up. They really like working with us. And they'd say, Joe, you know what I just love? And I was thinking 6 to 24 PST.
Gen 1,
yeah, right.
VIP warranty.
Yeah, totally. Right. All that. Right. You guys have just done such a great job in the business. No. And they'd be long pause and they'd say, I love those pizza oven bits. I love those pizza oven bits. Did you come up with that? No, nope, not my idea. Thanks, Bill. No. That's my kid brother, just out of college. And so anyways, so that quelled the small contingent. I thought, hey, if our top dealers are loving it, Jimmy's got free reign on the pizza oven. But I am a little, so I'm actually really bummed that it's kind of been on hiatus.
It has been, yeah. Like I said, when it was like, oh, you put all that work into it, and then like very few people were seeing it, and there's like all this stuff you got, I don't know if we were getting shadow banned, I don't know, whatever. People have all these different ideas about how the Big Brother algorithm works, and I don't know if any of us actually understand it, but for whatever reason, it was like you put all this work into doing like something, and like it'd be me up there chopping veggies or something, like doing all this junk in the old podcast studio, and then doing this big pizza oven bit. And then it'd be like, you just wouldn't get any messages, and the viewership was like a couple hundred, and you're like, oh, well, that's weird because it's dried up from like, it used to be 45,000 people would see this, and now,
Well, we all know the only reason to do anything on social media is for that external validation.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you. That was actually a really eloquent way of
Very
getting at what I was trying to say.
I will.
But I did have to explain, my time spent here, and they'd be like, so you spent 3 hours messing around with the pizza oven. How many views did that receive? It's gone down tremendously.
What's your pizza oven ROI? We want to know.
Right.
No. It's really great. It's really great. I like the pizza. I like what you're doing. It's really good. But the viewership
isn't there.
I do want to ask Jim, what the first one that I recall was in the old building. And it was hot dogs. And I feel like
the very first one ever was a single hot dog that I brought in for lunch. And I thought, I don't want to heat it up in a microwave. That would be horrible. And so then I just thought, well, there's a pizza oven. And I might be able to get a little bit more my desired texture if I just... And then Instagram stories was new. And I was like, people were like, you're just supposed to do behind the scenes stuff. And I'm like, okay.
And didn't it roll off and then like
it did? It rolled off into the back of the pizza
because you like yanked it and it was like pulling the rug out.
I was gonna say, I remember
a hot dog
falling.
at rest will stay at rest even when the pizza oven rack is pulled out at a tremendous velocity.
Physics.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to do a teaser. We're going to do a whole 3-part series on the pizza oven. Part 3 is going to, and so that's all it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's
got the key. The key to the pizza oven, though, and I think the purists will appreciate this, is that we cannot, and no offense, our video people, and look at all this stuff that's amazing, right? But it's got to be kind of ghetto.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Like the OG
pizza oven was pretty ghetto. It was on an iPhone.
I mean, we could always drive to 2120 West Greenview Drive and see if they'll let us plug in a pizza oven. We probably don't want to tell them we want to get to the most ghetto place possible, but
our old building.
It was a nice place.
By the way, I got to go to the bathroom. Is any available?
No.
There are none.
There are 3.
No. And frankly,
there are none. But you
you
can have a nice conversation with whoever's desk is immediately outside the bathroom while you wait for the bathroom.
That's true.
Well, and let's be honest, are they really outside the bathroom when you wall off the bathroom closet on the inside, rip out the backside, and put a desk in it? I think you're still in the bathroom.
I tell you what, those people...
You certainly knew everyone's schedule.
Scarred for life.
You want to know who was a great test bed for like a new Bose noise-canceling headphone? They should have gone to those people.
They should have gone to
I'll tell you
those
what,
people.
Can our headphones remove the smell or the sound of somebody using the restroom behind you? Hello, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Look at that. Our first...
There's been like 6 people that have come up and watched.
Oh, you can hear us, yeah.
So, that's... Oh, Mike is watching and listening. This is a new thing
Technology
for us.
at work.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm going to direct this one towards you.
Okay.
At Rad Ryan 505. Okay. Ryan, is that your new
no affiliation?
Yeah. Okay.
We do all know each other, but
the Ryan text chain.
Boy, I have more good friends named Ryan and Mike than anything else.
Does anybody know a Ryan with 2 N's?
No. Do you?
No.
I'm just throwing it Deep thoughts.
What about Ryan? What about Ryan? RYNE. Are they on the text chain?
No. They're just on the outside of a watermelon.
That was good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it's just common spelling. RYAN.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. We meet once a year.
But Rad Ryan.
Rad Ryan 505. What qualities make you think we need to find a role for this person?
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go, obviously, but you asked me, but I think everybody should go. So for me, a couple things. I think the first thing is there's something that I would be looking for that's service related. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're guaranteed to get hired, but it's a good start. It's a good start if this is so old school, but whatever. Pleases, thank yous, opens the door for people. I'll ask questions. When was the last time you did something for someone else and didn't expect anything in return? I'm not looking necessarily. It doesn't have to be business related. They could, shovel the, widow's front walk when it snows. But I think, so much of what
hoping
we do,
to get like deer hunting permission.
100%. Yes.
Or
I'm glad that was,
right.
I thought it was implied, but, yeah. So, I think that's what I'm looking for. I think they don't have to be, it would depend on the role. So if it's a front-facing customer role, I think that they would, have very easy rapport, just be able to talk easy, just have a real comfort level. That obviously potentially can change if they're more of this back-end role. They're not dealing with customers. So those are some things I'm looking for. I'll tell you one thing that I'm looking for, you're not always going to get, but if your people internally know the person ahead of time and they speak highly of them, that is a huge, big star next to the name.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together.
100%.
Right. So it's kind of a pre-vetting process.
It definitely helps, but it doesn't make it impossible if you are looking for a job here, because like it's not insider baseball or whatever. Like, oh, the only people who get a job there are people who already know a guy there. But
yeah. Yep. If you write thank you notes, you don't have to. We've hired a lot of people who didn't, but I tell you what, if you write a thank you note to the people that interviewed you, that's a really good start. We just like people who like people, like serving people. And again, that sounds really old school, but I think it's something that's timeless. It never goes out of style. Everybody likes to interact with companies they get treated that way, like you really matter and that you're important. So I think any of that little nuanced stuff, if sometimes we'll take somebody out to lunch or dinner. And so how do they interact with the waiter? Big deal, all that kind of stuff. So I think those are things you're looking for. We get a lot of people, and I think you guys have experienced this. They'll volunteer at a show or an event, and they don't work for us. And so then you get an opportunity to see them live and just their work ethic and all that. And if you're like, holy smokes, this guy can work or this gal can work, really great with people. That's always, all those things are things that are like, okay, that's actually what we want when somebody's already here. So anything that I think sort of telegraphs that. But what do you guys think?
I echo the sentiment, right? I was thinking about that on my way to work today because I had a challenging situation that we ended up resolving. And the gentleman who was working, actually was with Mike, had said, wow, I've never been treated that good before. It makes me want to break something again. and I thought
that's a high bar compliment, right?
It is.
And I was like unpacking that statement, and I'm like, imagine the disappointment when you drop your gun and it lands on the optic and the optic breaks, right? So this is a red dot on a pistol.
Yeah.
And then you think like, oh my gosh, I spent all this money on this product and then this time, and then you're conditioned.
I gotta call them.
Yeah.
Or am I gonna send an email?
Yep. Oh. And you're conditioned as a consumer to run into then immediate resistance.
Totally.
And then you don't get that.
Yeah, you get the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get to go there every day, and that's like, people are like, what's the hardest part of your job? And I'm like, I don't actually really even know, I guess. But that's like what we get to do here. And so when I think about it, it's like people that enjoy doing that kind of thing, facilitating that kind of thing, and then also that are durable, because sometimes you get folks that are genuinely upset, right? Like there's a misunderstanding or something doesn't meet their expectations in a product, and to be durable and get through that and understand that the next phone call that's about 15 seconds away is probably going to have a different tone to it. That's what I look for. Somebody who's like I said, enthusiastic and excited to make somebody's day, and then also that they're durable, so that if somebody's day started bad,
right,
they can bounce back from that and work through it. So
Mark, you've been here since pre-2010, seen a lot of people,
We've seen some things, Joe.
We chose you.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, what do you think when you've seen a lot of new team members jump in and been in some interviews? Like, what do you think is when you know?
I mean, I think everything that you guys said, and then being a culture fit, and I think actually what you guys said is a big part of our culture, but another aspect of our culture is living the lifestyle. Like, do you like hunting? Do you like shooting? And part of that is because I think it's important to be excited about the products that you're selling or you're talking about or you're designing an ad for or podcasting about. Hunting, shooting, the shooting sports are very nuanced. Tons of information. I mean, that's why we do the pod. Like,
I was just going to say some of the cartridge-related
we've
stuff
done,
you're talking about.
Right?
It's like crazy.
It's because there's so much to know or so much to learn, and things are changing over time. Like we're talking about this high pressure stuff, and to be super excited about that, I think it makes you do a better job talking to our customers who are excited about those same things.
Yeah. You know what's nice about that stuff?
One.
That stuff is stuff that can be taught and learned, but only if the person is actually like amped up about it. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of people who work here who, when they started working here, it was like, I sat in a deer stand with my dad once. But they're like, I think hunting is cool enough. I think the brand is cool enough. I think what your customers do is cool enough that like I am in it and I'm like ready to pay attention and learn it and digest it and I'm ready to be in that too.
And a lot of it's just an exposure thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, I did this maybe one time or maybe 0 times. All of a sudden you're surrounded by a lot of folks that are into it. They're excited about it. You have a mentor. You have people who can help you on your, hunting, shooting journey, whatever it is.
In the back of Ryan's Tacoma.
I'm going to say something that's got all these elements in it. So a good example is if somebody works here and has never been hunting and they want to go, but they might be a little bit intimidated because there's so many around here that have just forgot more about hunting than most people ever know. I just encourage them, just like send it out on Slack, send an email, walk down into consumer sales right in the middle and just announce, I've never been hunting and I'd like to go. And I mean,
take me hunting.
But the level of enthusiasm that hundreds of people around here would be like, you're going with me and we're doing this. And that person that's
you don't need anything. I got the stuff.
Yeah, you don't need anything. I got the stuff. Meet me here. Like, is insane. It's really cool to see. And so they, cause I think, we hire well, they don't make the person feel stupid. The person doesn't they are more excited about that hunt than their own hunt. It's pretty cool. So regardless if that person ends up going on to being, the, top tier hunter ever, or that's the first and only time, it's pretty cool to see just the level of enthusiasm for people here to take new people hunting, shooting, what have you.
Yeah.
All that loops back to that service mindset.
100%. Yeah. And enthusiasm. And so it's just a really cool thing to see, as opposed to, because sometimes you do run into the industry where somebody is so, it's all about my hunt. It's all about my equipment. It's like about my experience. Like I'm like, you do you, like I'm like, I want to, like, here's my trophy room. And where this is kind of reversed.
I got one more too, and it's kind of a funny one because the last interview I was a part, well, it was like one of the last position series of interviews I was a part of where we were trying to hire for somebody around here. I got approached after an interview by a guy. No, actually, it wasn't even after an interview. That's right. He didn't even make it. He didn't even make it to the interview. He came into work, found where I was, because I was like the hiring manager at the time. Found where I was, came down, asked for me, and then basically chewed me out on the spot about the fact that he didn't even get an interview. And what he did was, his reasoning was, this thing from my resume, this thing from my resume, this thing from my resume, this thing. Why don't you want to hire me? Basically, like, why aren't you begging me to work here? And I think my initial reaction was kind of like, well, it was kind of like not ready for this. at the time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because it was sort of like a blind
This
side.
does not normally happen.
Wednesday at Wednesday at 3 p.m. or something, and then it very quickly turned into. Actually, I think it should be really obvious if you just took a step outside of your body for a moment and looked at this interaction. Why there's absolutely no chance. And so, like, what I'm getting at is we've had people not quite as dramatic as that, but some people are just sort of like it can't wrap their head around why it is that maybe we don't want them to work here, because all they do is they just care about their resume and what I've done. And they're like, look at all these accolades I have. And it's kind of like, hey, there's a big element of, like, that's great that you've done that, but also, like, we really don't care, because if that's all you care about, like,
well, I would say this, it's secondary. So when we hire really well, it's culture first. And then it's like, oh, okay, we feel good about you on the culture side. Yeah. Now we can look at the skills if it's applicable. There's some roles where it's like maybe an engineering role where you're like, we feel like we need a turnkey person who knows, engineering. We don't have time on this one to get them there. But it's like we don't even get to the engineering component until you get the culture component.
You could write on your resume like immaculate conception, born in Bethlehem, and all that stuff. And if you come in and you're a jerk,
those are pretty serious.
Look, I'm not turning him away. I'm not turning him away.
He wouldn't come in and be a jerk.
He's got my job.
He wouldn't come in and be a jerk. But if somebody did have just this amazing resume that was just like, we should be, in awe, and then they're just a jerk, it's like not even close to interested.
That was a good question and no surprise it was Orion.
Yeah, it's
it's a good group.
I mean,
we do meet.
Crew.
We do meet.
We do.
Is it a summit or is it?
Yeah, well, summit's pretty.
Okay,
it's a pretty lofty. Title for
metaphorical, not literal.
Yeah, it's a Congress. It's a. Yeah,
got it.
We have an island
governing body.
Well, speaking of Ryan, another question for Ryan. What's your favorite 6.5 from at Chantry61?
Is this like choosing your favorite child?
There are, well, so that asks this is another question here, like of personally owned or of cartridges.
I'd say
of cartridges.
Yeah,
fair game.
It's the one I've never owned and the one I've been pursuant of for 22 years. It's a 6.5 by 54 Mannlicher.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's like your Eleanor.
Yeah,
your white whale.
I have seen and touched one.
Ooh.
And I let it get away.
Where, and when?
Minnesota Weapons Collectors Association show. I was with
date.
Would have been 2000 and it would have been 2007 because I was 18 because I could have done a 4473 and bought it.
Can we have MC Ryan fact check this?
Yeah. So I was with another dealer from my hometown. It wasn't the shop that I worked for. It was another gentleman affiliated. No, this was before that.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah. And so it was Mr. Dick Waggy, now deceased, great guy. And he said, hey, go walk the floor. You've been working. He was great cop. I'll tell you that. And then in retirement, he just sold guns. Anyway, he's like, go walk the floor. You've been working hard. And so I go walk the floor, and I brought a chunk of money. I actually sold a gun safe and all of its contents in preparation of finding this gun, which I stood about a 1 in 1 million chance of running across at this show. And as I'm like snaking my way through the floor there, I look up and they have like a really distinct look. And the guy had it in a vertical rotating rack. And so there's this table and it's all bespoke guns. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And I walk up and there it is. It is a 1903 Mannlicher Schoenauer carbine chambered in 6.5 by 54 MS. And this guy is sitting behind the table and he's got like glasses on like the tip of his nose. And he looks kind of stately, but he doesn't look super stately. So I'm like, okay, he's probably
medium
approachable.
Stately.
He's reading a paper. I'm like,
more of a province.
I'm like, sir. And he like
I love how you
looks up
that.
looks up from his glasses. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I see you have a Mannlicher here. Do you mind if I handle it? And he kind of like folds the tip of his paper down. He's like, do you know what that is? And I'm like, that is and I rattle the whole thing off. He's like, yeah, go ahead. And I pick it up and I'm like, it's happening. This would be the largest financial burden I've ever put upon myself at this point in time in my life.
You would have been like that, the meme, I will never financially recover from.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. And
Tiger King.
Like, I'm
Is
like,
that what that's from?
I'm like, it's actually here. Like, I can't believe it's here. And I said to him, I'm like, wow, okay, well, I got to go think about this. He's like, okay, well.
What was the damage?
It wasn't even that much. It was like $2,400, but to the 20
was going to say
to the 19-year-old,
Yeah.
to the 19-year-old version of me.
Might have been 2.4 million.
Yeah. To the 19-year-old version of me, that might as well have been, yeah. And so I set it back down, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm like heart palpitations, and I'm like, I can't believe it's really happening. And I walk the floor a little bit, and I come back to my senses maybe like 30 or 45 minutes later, and I go back to go get it. I'm like, I'm going to do it. And it was gone.
Was he gone too?
No, he sold it.
Oh.
Like it's like somebody
like an apparition.
Totally. Like he wasn't even there, was he? This is like a great opening for a movie, you know?
And so
he gets
was
the
sold.
man
He's
like
like,
you're like later in life, you know?
He's like, I'm sorry, kid. Like somebody bought it, obviously. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it just wasn't meant to be. And then I just went down, and I never got up the rest of the show, like the other 2 days I worked it. And I've been the high bidder on one or a couple over the few years on some of the auction sites. But, you know, I wonder at this point in time, is it the chase that I'm interested in, or is it the gun? Because I know where most of them are for sale in the country right now.
It is one of those things. Are you going to be happy when you catch the unicorn, or sad that it's not out there anymore?
Phenomenal existential question. I don't know the answer to it. So, like I said, I could go down. There's one in, I believe it's in Papillion, Nebraska right now. I could go down. I can leave after work and have breakfast in the morning and go touch it with my hands. But I don't. So maybe I'm just waiting for like the right one. I don't know what I'm doing, Mark.
You'll know.
I'll know.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know when it's right. Question for me, shockingly.
Can I read it?
Sure. I'll let you touch the printouts, but not. I want them back.
Can you wash your hands first?
This is from Andreas Seiler, Seiler. What's Mark's next rifle build?
Well, Ryan, I'm glad you asked, and we just had a meeting on this just yesterday. We're workshopping a new. Oh, thank you. It's going to be a hunting production.
Yeah,
we're going to be chasing some meso predators, little meso madness in the form of the North American raccoon, and I need to build what I think is the ultimate raccoon gun.
Certainly.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. I've got some ideas.
I was gonna say you got to keep it.
Yeah, I can't divulge too much information. I think I have a really, really solid plan though.
Can I keep going on the list?
I told you that. Yeah.
Okay. I've got another one here from @Baylor6.
This is why I make two copies, because once I relinquish the printouts, he doesn't like to give them back.
Right. Yeah.
The question is, did any of you, us here at Vortex, build or buy a 7mm Backcountry, and has anyone used it? And you and I did some extensive testing on the cartridge.
Yeah.
With a couple of different production rifles, performed very admirably. But I have not built one, nor did I buy one. I don't believe you did either.
I didn't, no.
Rylan Benson on my team did build one, does love it. Corey Schaefer has, I think, two now. Also very much enjoys them. Travis Jones has one. So it caught on.
Rylan, I was on board with Rylan's plan, and I respect it in a lot of ways. The part that tore me apart was the fact that he sold his 300 Wisdom to do it.
Yeah, well.
And that pains me. That hurt. That stung. That cut me deep.
I can see that.
Yeah. But
it'll be fine.
He's got a real nice rifle. And, I mean, it's both of those fall right within that do-all big game rifle pocket. So maybe you don't need to. But I would argue
walk
against.
by his desk, is there a look that you give him? Like, is it kind of like?
Yeah,
it's. You know, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, but also some disgust. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Disgust. Yeah.
Okay.
And a little mad.
I mean, right.
A lot mad.
So really, actually, kind of
most
everything.
mad and
feel all the
disappointed.
negative.
Do you leave notes on his desk? Anonymous notes shaming him.
I've heard there's been some notes left. I don't know who they're from, though,
Right.
Joe.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ryan, how do we get Mark
Ryan,
talking
can I?
more?
Oh, sorry.
No.
I've got it. There's a method to the madness.
I didn't
here.
hear what you said.
There's
I
a whole
panicked.
thing.
I said, how do we get Mark talking more?
Oh.
If you had to be a coworker's dog for a day, which dog would you be?
Ooh.
Wait, which coworker's dog would you be?
Correct.
Yeah, it's important because you now belong
the
to somebody who
dog.
works here.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I was thinking just more like if I like that dog or not.
No, you belong to someone here.
Yikes.
Well, but now you're
Listen
a
here,
dog,
boy.
so you want treats, I think. You
I would
want
be MC Ryan's dog.
You want to get petted.
I think that's every dog at Vortex gets those.
I was going to say they do. I'm trying to think who's got it the best.
I'd be
Corinne's
MC
dog,
Ryan's dog.
Corinne's dog, Henry. So Henry knows where every treat station is. Any singular person that has treats, Henry knows. And remember Jim?
Yep.
Corinne's dog, Jim?
I do remember
Jim knew where every garbage can was. And so he would break free of Corinne from time to time. He'd get like a wild hair. And he would systematically execute a nosedive into every garbage can just a little faster than Corinne could catch him. And he would go through the entirety of the building. Well, Henry has figured out where every treat station is. And then once he goes and he makes his rounds, he then just, he's out.
pattern recognition here. I think this is a Corinne thing.
Could be.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the common denominator here.
Yeah. Yeah. I would also,
We've pinpointed
So
it.
she could be a good owner
I think.
because she just gives those periods of time where you have sudden instant freedom.
another good one would be Yeti, Taylor's dog,
Okay.
because he also gets a lot of lunches.
Like, does Taylor just leave his desk with a lunch on the table and he
You're a
gets
very
it?
food motivated
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I think that's what life is like when you're a dog.
Oh, you
I
know
think
what would
so.
be a fun dog to be? Not food motivated. Be Kellen's dog. And then
Sure.
you get to go and do all kinds of crazy tricks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I sit by MC Ryan's dog is so nice.
Yes.
But I've always had a thing for labs. And so
Sage.
Very nice dog.
She doesn't like
gets to
me.
go hunting.
I'm going to
She's
go with Digby.
Oh, yeah.
But then
Lives
I'm a girl dog
Lives a
too.
life.
Digby. Yeah, I mean, you
No
just
teeth.
to see that mug every morning when you wake up.
It's a little tongue hanging out.
I don't know if that tongue's little compared to the body
That's true.
size.
He
of
can't
that
help
dog.
it. He has a condition.
And Chris sits close by and is always there with many treats. And
eat
then you get to sit up on the desk.
Yes.
In a comfy bed.
And
Can
it's-
Digby eat the treats?
They go down. I don't know how they're getting down
Does
there.
that dog have any teeth anymore?
He's
I
I
adapted.
don't know. He's all tongue.
He's what?
He's adapted.
He's adapted.
Yeah, he's just
and
figured
overcome.
Yeah, he's adapted like an amoeba.
Dogs they don't feel sorry for themselves, they adapt.
That's funny.
It's true.
That's
Good
true,
point.
and they're still happy.
Yeah.
God, we just don't deserve dogs.
It's true. It's true.
Well, this is a real question. Did everybody get their answer
Opposed to
out?
the unreal
thought that
questions. Yeah, I thought that was legit.
I think this is a real question. I think it was. I found out later it was to elicit a story from me. Backcountry oral hygiene tips, which I do have a couple tips. I would say, yeah, bring a toothbrush. You know, the little travel size toothpaste. That's all you need for about a week, and bring some flossers. Either bring some floss or a couple flossers. I would say flossers because your hands are generally like dirty in some capacity.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to be, shoving your fingers in your mouth. So get the flosser. You can floss from a distance, stand off from any sort of contact. What at Eric Barber 8 was trying to get out of me was the time that I accidentally brushed my teeth with anti-itch cream in the backcountry, which I actually brought for my friends because I said, hey, we're on Kodiak Island. There's it's called cow parsnip, slang, celery or whatever. And if you touch it or come into contact with it, it can actually create a burning of the skin. And I said, you know what? Other people might not be aware of this. Maybe this is something that could help.
Service
I'm gonna pack
mindset.
Service mindset. Talk about your all-time backfires. Get up at 0 in the morning, brush my teeth. Well, all the tubes are about the same size, look alike. I'm about 5 strokes into this deal. I realize something is amiss. I can't go back, and I start flushing my mouth because I know this is not toothpaste.
Right.
I may have poisoned myself.
I would say there's a warning that I guarantee says
we're
do
in the
not
middle
get
of
in your
nowhere.
mouth or
Brush your
eyes.
teeth with.
My mouth is
this
going numb.
paste.
It tastes terrible. And
Could you? What? Actually, I'm genuinely curious though. What was the taste?
I confided.
You told
with
him.
Eric
You
Barber.
confide in the wrong people.
I go, here's the deal.
You
told
confide in the
everyone.
wrong people, Mark.
There was only a couple of us there. I mean, you had
Eric
to pick
of all-
somebody.
yeah.
He was the closest. And I was like, hey, here's the deal. If I die, it's because I did this.
And let me guess, Eric did he have a concerned look, or was it more of a I can't stop laughing?
It was two.
It was the latter.
Second one.
Two.
Yeah.
B. B.
Okay, here we go. This is I'm looking to find a new book to read. This is the reading one. Any suggestions? Hunting, firearms, reloading, adventure, and then Joe. This is kind of I was going to add because I know you read lots of business-minded books as well.
Right.
So I've got mine.
Should we just go around?
Yeah, go around.
I'll start with me. I like that. Last of the Great Brown Bear Men. I read that book. And talk about a service-minded, care-minded. My coworkers, who do like to give me a hard time, some of them are behind this wall right now, listening, watching, laughing. They gave me that book with a nice note for my birthday. I'd been talking about that book and how I started to read it on Kodiak. I was on Kodiak Island hunting. Started to read it, didn't get to finish it because I couldn't keep it.
Yeah.
And they remembered that and they got it for me.
Beautiful.
That
Nice
is
little note
great.
inside. And it's good. It's a good read. It's like a classic. It's just like it's a compilation of a bunch of different brown bear stories of these kind of two infamous guides on Kodiak Island who pioneered brown bear hunting there.
Huh.
So that's my book.
Beautiful.
Ryan?
Me? I haven't read a book since 2009.
That's right. We covered that.
So I will tell you this. Capstick's entire collection is very good.
Okay.
Otherwise, I never got big into like books from like a novel perspective. I was more interested in like the history of some sort of mechanism, device, or process.
Okay.
Right.
And so I was reading, modern firearms and their cartridges, which was printed at around 1900, 1910, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more like consuming the how it came to be. I never got into novels before I couldn't read good anymore. So, but Capstick's entire collection is really good. Riveting book, great storyteller.
Excellent.
Jimmy?
Joe?
Jimmy, you go.
My daughter and I really enjoy the April 2000 issue of Car and Driver. That's a
Good Night
favorite.
Moon, huh?
That's a favorite of hers. No,
Puts her right to sleep.
it does. She really likes. There's an ad. There's a full page, like full spread ad of BMW's M3 in the
CG Geico or
Yeah, I think it's Laguna Seca Blue or something like that. She really liked it. Look at the blue car, Daddy. And then their primo story is the BMW Z8 versus the Ferrari F430 versus the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, I want to say.
That was just I don't remember that issue, but I'm looking at every one of those cars right now.
The BMW is silver, the Ferrari's yellow, and the Aston's green, as they all should be. I mean, the Ferrari could be red, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's
All
a good
right.
ad. That's a good issue.
So I am notorious for reading multiple books at once. And so I'm going to do two that I've read that I'd recommend. Both actually recommendations from Sam, one of our other brothers.
So is it like the technical layout blueprint of like a...
Surprisingly not.
All right.
But so these read like novels, but they are history. And it's Undaunted Courage. So that would be around Lewis and Clark and their whole, kind of trek, discovering the West. And then another one, which is like maybe the best miniseries ever produced on television, in my opinion. Yep. But it's based off of a book, and the book's even better, is Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
So I would highly recommend those. And then two that I just started. One is Lonesome Dove. So they made it into a TV show, but it's like just started it. I didn't even know that it was a book, but I heard it's classic. It's like a lot of people love that book. So I literally just started that. It's a novel, think cowboys and so forth. Then the other one I started, and I really liked this guy's book, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. You would really like him. phenomenal writer. Mark used to be a copywriter, great. So the War of Art has more.
We can go into my Squid Jig copy at a later time, Joe.
I think sometimes like there's some rooms that really love that story, and then there's other ones that's just you and me. But as long as it's you and me, we have each other because it just is right in my wheelhouse of humor. But then the other one is the War of Art is all about starting. Like you have a creative endeavor, then you keep procrastinating. And he somehow writes a book. It's a very short book, and it's poetic almost. But I mean, man, if it can kick you right in the you-know-what to get you out of procrastination, highly recommend that book. But he wrote a book called Gates of Fire. He's also the writer of The Legend of Bagger Vance, coincidentally. But Gates of Fire is all about the Spartans. Like, so think of the movie The 300, only like this is more like accurate. And it's and I just started that one. It's been on my list for a while.
Cool.
So there you go.
There you go.
I used the movie 300 to write a book report in college. So.
I still remember I took Susan on a date to 300, and there was a guy that I think ripped off his shirt, stood up and said, this is Sparta, but he yelled it. And I mean, the amount of testosterone in that room, she just looked at me like, you owe me big time for this. Yeah, probably not the best date movie.
Hey, this is how we learn.
Yeah, this is how we learn. Yeah.
Well, Ryan, we'll be expecting a full report on these books.
So I do some audiobooks.
I can share some car drivers.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you do audiobooks?
Some, not a ton. So I drive a lot. So like if I go to Idaho, it's 29 hours.
Okay.
And so I can only listen to so many like podcasts because there's not a lot out there that really interest me.
Yep.
And then I can only listen to the same 86 hours of my Spotify playlist. I'll do some audiobooks sometimes and listen to those. But I have not picked up a book and read it since 2009.
So I'll tell you what, there's a huge debate. If you listen to an Audible book, did you read it?
No, you didn't. There's something.
I don't know if Mark agrees, Ryan.
No,
I think Mark thinks it's a read.
So, and here's why I think this, and this is like a fairly unqualified statement because you're talking to the guy who has not read a book since 2009.
Right, your opinion doesn't matter.
Right. When I'm driving, I can have something on in the background as noise.
Okay.
I'm and it's an audiobook, right? I can be immersed in it if I want to be, and I can visualize what the writers is depicting, or I can put myself in the situation, whatever. But I can also like look out the window and be like, oh, wow, look at that. And you get distracted from it. If you pick up a book and you are consciously reading the pages and the text and the words and all this stuff, not only are you immersed in it, but you have to be, because if you look away, you lose your space on the page. Yes. And I think that's what broke me. And I think that's why I can't read them anymore.
I have a theory as to why people read less as they get older. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. Is it'll put you to sleep. Oh, if I read after work, that's why it's hard to get the progress I used to get. Is I can go to sleep pretty quick.
I just usually think the older I get, the closer I am to dying. And do I want to spend my time sitting here reading this book, or do I want to spend my time going outside and karate chopping 2x4s in my driveway?
Karate chopping wins.
Yeah,
every time.
Every time.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Mark,
it sure does. Guys, we've covered a lot of really good ground here. We're approaching the 2-hour mark.
That's fine.
Which is totally fine. Yeah.
Once we chop out the giggles, it'll be like 56 minutes.
So I think we'll try and keep it to about that 2-hour mark.
Okay.
But so I'm having trouble because we got a couple heavy hitters here. So I'm trying to figure out how we maybe want to close
this out. Any audience
participation?
The showroom is empty.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to.
Mike.
I'm gonna go to this one, Joe. Best flavor of beef jerky.
Well, Mark, I think I could answer this verbally or physically.
Visually.
Thank you. That's where I was going. In fact, actually, my lovely assistant, Jimmy.
Rarely do I ever like to give you an assist. But I would like.
I definitely heard physically.
Well, physically, Jimmy is going to grab some beef jerky.
Actually, I'm gonna
or maybe it's Mark is.
I'm gonna do a little thing called
Jim's gonna outsource
delegation.
He's gonna outsource his job,
and there it is, right there,
the whole pack. Joe.
Now, listen, we got this friend of mine, Troy Link, who is the CEO of Jack Links. He's come to visit us, and so we were texting the other day, and he was like, "Hey, you need any more goodies?" And so my current favorite from Jack Link's, and I had it during his last visit, is the biltong, which I think you and Ryan should detail what about that.
Those are
actually it should be you, Mark,
in the
because
back. Are there
Mark,
any left?
you've got a nice biltong story. And did you already rate it? They already rated it. But look at that, Mr. Beast. They're partnered with Mr. Beast. Peppered, always been a big peppered beef jerky fan.
Absolutely.
But the biltong, I think, who I think got him? I think Eric Barber got him.
Joe, I'm telling you, they were getting annihilated back there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any
Isn't
left.
he known as the guy who's like the eating champ? Him
Well,
or
he
Graham?
did.
Well, I
he
mean,
did put down those 30 donut holes on his 30th birthday.
Yes, he did.
Now, Joe, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, if there's an eating champ, the day that you gave me a full-size can of Spam.
Yeah.
And you had to get it down in a minute.
You gave me 8.
Oh, I give you 8 minutes.
You gave me 8 minutes. And what you don't see is, look at that.
Oh, yeah, there,
Wow,
look at that. Look at that. Courtesy of Kit Kat. That was Catherine, right?
Catherine
Yes.
for the win.
All right, I can't see in the dark.
She also helped with these
All
notes.
Yeah,
she did.
courtesy of
All right, well, here,
that
try some
girl
of
who's
this stuff.
worked
I
for
don't
us
want-
for.
with the
it's open.
with the sound on the.
Yeah, just put it on your mic.
Mark, we have been podcasting for how many years, and you haven't realized that Ryan can sometimes turn your mic off?
Let's see this
in
thing.
there. Oh, yeah, you haven't had
That is
it
a
yet.
very
No,
different
Eric
than
took it
jerky
all.
experience.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's totally a different
All
jerky
right, there's stuff I
experience.
get at
Now,
Menards.
what about what's left on your fingers? It's a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Nothing.
Right. Totally. I knew you'd like that. I can tell he likes
Mark,
it.
you were actually the fourth guy to reach into that bag and grab something out. How do you feel
But
about
he
that?
likes it. You can tell. We've
I
won
trust-
him over.
I trust your hygiene.
Just keep it over there by Mark.
I love
wouldn't-
corned beef,
Okay.
and it's got corned beef vibes.
Fair. You also like corn nuts. And Jimmy,
I do like Jimmy.
where are the
Thanks.
corn nuts?
They're right behind me.
So we brought some of those. But the
Do I have
questions are on
to
jerky.
get those out?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's amazing.
I knew
And
it.
so, like my build, so like South Africa, Africa, they make a lot of biltong.
There. We got a lot more biltong.
It's like a air dried,
Right.
salted meat.
Right.
Delicious. This is the first time I've had it. I almost had it one time, but when I lived in Nebraska with my buddy Mike, very hot, very arid climate, and we had a bunch of deer meat. He goes, I'm going to make biltong. He'd been to Africa a bunch of times. So we made some. I'm sure it was fine. I chose to pass, though, just because I was like, we're kind of leaving meat out in the sun. It just didn't seem
Just didn't feel right.
I trust the folks at Jack's.
Did you
what I
know
mean?
you were a no from the jump, or was it like you? It was like you were. And maybe I don't know, and then at the last minute, it was.
You killed Jimmy.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't the beef jerky or the corn nuts. That was the Aquafina.
There was some flies,
Right.
not whatever. I just, I chose to pass. But man, that is really good though. I like
knew
that.
you'd like that.
Outside of that, big fan of just the original,
Yeah.
peppered, and then I'm a big fan of teriyaki. But I feel like kind of like the onions we were talking about earlier, it kind of sticks with you.
So I would actually agree on the teriyaki. I'm a big peppered over original. I can do original, but I like the peppered. But that's a good point on the teriyaki. Also,
you get-
guys,
you get the
Mark is a
teriyaki bursts.
giant corn nut fan, as am I.
Oh, that's way too
but
loud
I
for a
don't
podcast.
know who. I don't know the flavor.
That's coming through.
the
That's
original
strong.
Johnny
They're
Ranch
all
guy.
good.
They're all good.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna just hold on.
It's still coming through. It's bone
Yeah,
conductive.
you
At this
can't-
point.
It really is. It really
It's
is.
bone
Yeah.
conductive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can hear how good they are, Jim.
Yeah. You
I haven't
really
had a
can.
corn nut in a really long time.
Those sound really good.
Congratulations.
You
sound
did it.
Really
You know what I
did it,
really
Jim.
about Jim and his age? As he ages, he eats more regular food, and I feel better because,
I'm
like,
gonna eat more regular food.
for a long time there,
that's
Jim,
true.
Makes sense.
you're like, you don't need to drink nothing but water.
I never said that.
That is absolutely
That
something
sounds like
you've said.
something you'd say.
I would never say that. I like food. I would never just be like, oh, I'll just
You've been
drink
kind,
water.
you've been
no.
like on paleo before paleo was a thing.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
did do
you know
that,
how
and that
younger
was not-
siblings are always really annoying. So I don't know why, but you're talking. Yeah. So this would be so Jimmy would have a Pop-Tart, and he'd be walking around the house with his Pop-Tart down like this, and the dog would just kept coming up and trying to take the Pop-Tart and therefore biting his hand. And so if I was home or if I was calling back home on I was in college, all I'd hear in the background is ow. Ow.
Well, I mean, Joe, it sounds like one of those unsolvable problems.
Right, 100%. Well, what's for Jimmy? Jimmy is like, hey, easy fix. Just get her up here.
Right. It's super easy when you pop out into the world as a mature adult. Yeah, you're right. I get it.
Yeah. I guess I meant to say, Jim, is so one of our very early podcasts, we did foraging with Ryan, and then I brought in some confections that I make to include.
Yeah, you're the one who eats weird.
No, it's not weird. But I brought in my wild grape jelly, and you're like, I'm not a sweets guy. You like the jelly, but you're like, I don't do chocolates. I don't like this. I don't like candies. I don't like
those.
And I'm thinking, like, man, like.
So I like corn nuts.
Well, here we go. Then when we came to your house for deer camp, and you're like, I'm making breakfast, and you made ridiculously delicious French toast, and then your mom's Geta.
Yeah,
I've never had the French toast.
Well, yeah, you got to be someone I like.
And then you covered it in your honey, and then we gorged on that. I was like,
that honey was the most uniquely flavored honey I've ever had.
I can't remember what position I'm defending now. If I like weird food or if I don't like.
No,
weird
it wasn't
food.
that you like weird food.
When did you start making honey?
I don't make honey. It was kind of a weird fluke thing.
Farrow
actually,
box.
It was a Farrow box that was on our farm.
Located in an obscure corner.
It was, and then a guy found it who does honey, and then he was like, "Hey, I found all this honey in this bee box on your place," and I was like,
"You know who makes honey? Gala.
Yeah,
Gala,
big time,
good honey.
Yeah, it's good honey."
What it was is at the time that I brought in the goodies for the foraging podcast, you had expounded to me that you don't care for most of what I would consider normal food for a lot of people. You also. At that time, you're like, yeah, I work out for 6 hours a day. I strap on these rollerblades and I go rollerblade up Everest.
With the big headphones.
Yeah. And
I didn't have headphones.
There's catch.
And so
Newport High School wide receiver.
I caught it. Anyway.
Well, as we know, actually, if you catch the guy.
I'm just going to answer your next question, number 29.
If you catch the guy who caught the thing, it's Mr. Washington. Seahawks.
And so you didn't like regular people food. I didn't know how to be
Hawks.
I didn't know how to be your friend if you didn't like regular people food, and then you made this phenomenal breakfast, and now you eat like regular people food. I think it's because maybe the kids.
Yeah, the kids make you. They force you to eat regular food, I guess.
Because you ate cookies when we were at your house too. I'd never seen.
I was really hungry.
It was like because
that was my body's call for minerals.
Yeah.
Just straight. Because
you're not a big chocolate guy either.
I hate them.
Yeah. Those were chocolate chip cookies.
Well, I guess you caught me.
It made me feel comfortable.
And man, I love ranch corn nuts.
Well, yeah, I can see you eyeing those. You just want to continue, but you know you can't.
They got me. They hook, line, and sinker.
You can't just have a couple
there.
bites.
No, that's a problem.
Corn nuts are the forgotten sleeper, absolute best guilty pleasure snack, along with
road trip snack.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a better road trip snack?
That's a keep you awake snack.
I mean, beef jerky is definitely up there.
It's in the pocket,
but
sure.
corn nuts is like, I would say corn nuts is like, if Corn Nuts was a movie, it'd be Roadhouse.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, argue with me. You can't.
That's one time. That is one time in our history where I will not argue with you. Do it, Mark. Do it. Do it. You won't.
He's right.
You won't.
Can't.
When you're right, you're right.
He's right. Yeah. I mean, no arguments here.
I once saw beef jerky almost kill Mark. Ryan was there.
Oh, that's true.
I do remember that.
I had a blockage.
We had to stop the car.
We did. We had to stop the car. He had to make himself
reverse.
He had to reverse it.
I had a
reversal. If I had
got
images of both your faces, were they concerned looks or were they more laughing?
This was actually a time I remember I looked at Ryan and it was a concerned look at first, and then when the reversal occurred, it immediately reverted.
I've seen that same thing happen to somebody else, where it doesn't necessarily. It's a volume thing. You put too much in. You didn't wash it down properly, and it gets stuck. You can actually still breathe, but then you also can't. The water. It's the whole thing.
Stomach.
Well, and you have to always
know
know how much liquid you've got available.
Yeah.
So if you got a water bottle, like you kind of want to shake it a little bit, otherwise, because you get something stuck.
I was hunting bears with a guy in Alaska. It was a boat-based hunt. He's on the boat. Jerky.
My gosh, he died?
Same story.
He died?
No, he lived. He
Oh.
The bear get him?
Same thing, sorted it out. But Jerky, delicious. Be careful out there.
When someone's choking, are you a backslap guy?
Initially, yeah. But
Gut punch.
What if they wave you off?
Gut punch. Way too long. Okay.
Don't touch me.
I don't like that. I'm gonna die with some dignity.
I got this.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we've got a couple more hunting related ones. Well, we'll rapid fire here.
Fire?
When thermal, you're in luck. Now it happened.
Boom.
That was from
Nice.
nck.mcc. So we have the
Veil.
It's an awesome handheld unit, rangefinder-esque form factor, compact, feature-rich, effective,
Extremely easy to use.
so simple.
I got one for my daughter, and she's crushing it using it.
This is an electronic item, mind you, with buttons and things. They handed it to me with no instructions, and I figured it out in 5 minutes.
Mark's the litmus test. Is it ready for live fire?
Yeah, the lowest common denominator. That's the reputation you want.
Yep.
What are the 3 most important things for a new hunter to have? This is from
A tag.
Angus George. You want to have
I already know
proper
Paul
documentation.
Neese's answer.
What
you
is
guys
that?
go. Paul Neese's answer. He says a good pair of boots, physical fitness, and the best optics you can afford.
I agree with that. And then the only thing that I would add would be perseverance and the embracing the suck and just time in the field. Just time. That's going to. We have so much information available to us. It's amazing, but just time. Just get out there.
I'll tell you a requirement for me: a buddy. I don't go hunting by myself very often. I just don't find it as fun. And so I'm like, if somebody's going to go and we'll go together, even if we're hunting different areas, but just we're both, coordinating and seeing what each other's up to. Having a buddy with is
the stories are always better
fun.
when there's a buddy there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
There's a very primal human aspect to that statement. We go back in time.
A hunting party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those things. And then I would also say, and I've gotten publicly chastised for this one before, lower your expectations. Shoot the thing that you see if you're going to go hunting. Don't focus on the biggest thing out there. At the end of the day, a big rack is very interesting. And I agree. And I'm a trophy hunter through and through. But I also like to eat meat and a lot of it. But I see a lot of people maybe getting a little too overzealous about giant critters.
Yeah, I was gonna say this depends on where you're at in your whatever your hunting journey, if you will. But like you said, this is a new hunter. And we've both seen it where never gotten a deer in their life. No, I'm not gonna shoot that buck. I'm like, what the heck are we talking about?
I understand. It's great to show reserve, but
I guess I can in the same breath I can say shoot what's gonna make you happy.
Yeah. But don't have the expectation that you're going to go out there, even if you've bought the best gear that you can and you're on the coolest, biggest, meanest Western big state ranch. Be okay with not shooting the big one.
And how many people do you know who have a giant buck walk out, get buck fever, miss it, and it runs off, and then they leave with nothing?
I've done
There's
that.
an element of practice to it.
Sure.
If you get out there and you shoot a doe, you can't tell me I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't think so. If I get behind the scope and I'm aiming at a doe, I still have a lot of adrenaline. I'm getting excited, heart's pounding. I go through all the same stuff. And then it's practice.
what about the guy or gal, first time hunting, just shoots a giant?
Seen it happen.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Seen it happen. You know what? And a lot of times,
Do you get a punch in the arm? Is that kind of thing?
I like it because sometimes the circumstances work out, and that's cool too, I suppose.
Yeah.
My first elk, I'd never killed an elk until last year. Happened to be a big one.
I'm half
hot
kidding.
dog.
I'm half kidding about don't tell anybody because there are so many instances I've seen where people get really excited about shooting a giant deer. And they're like, check it out. And they're like, oh, you don't have any history with it. I know that. I've been seeing that. And then they have to tell you about their history with the deer that they never shot and that you shot. And then you're kind of like, oh, this is weird.
Never mind.
I'm sorry. Did I just shoot your pet?
What do you got, Mark? You got a question or two that you've just been dying to ask.
Gonna cap it with some care stuff, Joe.
Oh, okay, sure.
And I've got one question followed by a couple statements here. So this one comes from our good friend, Mr. Bren 330.
Trent.
Oh yeah.
What does a care story highlight something you've done for a customer and also what another company organization has done for you?
Oh, okay. Well, I like to talk a lot about what some of our people have done. And so I'll talk about one that I got a DM that I've not responded to, and I got it last night. And so it was, they were saying they were at this event. It's a competition, and that Travis Vogel was there, Virgil. And he was wearing a company picnic T-shirt.
Oh, sure.
And so she said, hey, that's an awesome T-shirt. Where do I get one of those? And he says, well, it's our company picnic T-shirt. You can only get one if you go to the company picnic. She said, oh, rats, like that. So then Virgil circles back an hour or two later and, has changed his shirt and drops the company T-shirt on the table. I think he said, you might want to wash that.
Gave the shirt off his back.
And that's what she said right in the thing is she gave shirt off his back, and she was just blown away. And so she really wanted to highlight him. And then the other day, we actually had somebody, Denise in AR. Hopefully she's okay with me saying this. She doesn't like the spotlight, but she really wanted to highlight our team because her car wouldn't start. And two of our guys noticed. And they, got her all squared away. And so they just went out of their way. She didn't even ask, for any help or anything like that. And so she really wanted to highlight those guys who helped her out. So anyways, and I'm going to tell just a quick story, and then I'm going to tell a story about a company that did a really good job. But so this is a story going to highlight Mom, so you'll appreciate this. So our mother is a world-class church greeter, okay?
Oh my gosh.
And so,
skill.
she knows everybody. They all love her. She's just like the goat of greeting. So I've greeted with her at times, and it doesn't matter how old I am or young I was. She kind of gives me this pep talk. So she's like, okay, when you're out there, part of the job is to greet people and say hello when they come to church. But she's like, the real job is, she goes, and you remember those old submarine movies where they've got like a radar, like boop, and they're looking for like a torpedo coming at them or whatever. And she goes, you got to have your radar up. And so she's like, you're going to see an older couple get out, and they've got a walker. And so she's like, you got to get out there. You're opening the door you're helping to get out of the car. She's like, then you're going to see a young mom, and she's got one toddler that she's going like this. She's got another one on her hip, and she's trying to carry something. She's like, your radar's up. You're out there. Your job isn't just stand here and wave. Then you're going to see somebody who walks in church, and they're looking around, and you know what that means. They don't know where to go, right? And so she's like, so you're going to say, hey, can I help you out, right? So her whole idea is having this radar up, looking for these, scanning for these opportunities. And I think the thing about our team is they're constantly have their radar up. So those moments that Virgil had, those are just like kind of funny moments that come and go. But if you got your radar up, and you think of it like, oh, this is an opportunity. Like, when would this person ever experience something like this? So you can kind of lean in, create a unique moment. I know you guys get that a lot. You'll help somebody get a rifle scope for their daughter on her first hunt. The guy will email in 2 months later with pictures of it, and he'll be like, hey, you helped me out. Look what happened. It was so great. And we get emails like that, and you could just be like, oh, that's awesome, and then move on. Or you could be like, wait a minute, this is the first hunt with his daughter. He sent us pictures. I think we could print those pictures out, put them in a frame. I bet you could get all the guys get a Sharpie and sign messages on the back and just flood them with some swag in that picture. Surprise. Maybe even send it attention to the daughter, because after all, she's 13, and how often she get a big old package in the mail. And now you've just created this moment that people will never forget. So anyways, those are just some examples of the team and the unique ways that they do that. And then I think one thing that I've heard, we've had it happen to us, but I've seen it happen to other people, is Chewy the company that does like
Yeah,
dog
like pet
food.
supplies.
Yeah, pet supplies. So like you can get kind of on a subscription, and so what'll happen sometimes is a dog will pass, and then the dog food shows up after because you're not thinking about necessarily stopping that subscription. And so we've done it, but some customers have reached out saying, "Oh, hey, we got to stop this. Here's what happened." Kind of a thing, and then they usually credit them for the recent one they sent. They said, "Hey, donate that." And then they say, we're going to do a donation on behalf of your dog to something. So they kind of they've got their radar up for kind of a big moment for their customer. And I remember when my wife told me that, and I think that's actually happened to a few other people that have told me with that company, it was like, it meant a lot to them, versus because that company has leaned into what was a really big deal for their customer in a unique way and kind of met them where they're at. So that was an example. I want to hear your guys' examples though of when a company did it to you or when you or a coworker did something.
Mark, go ahead.
I mean, I don't really have I guess one of my favorite ways to show a care, it's more of like a theme. I think I always like the gift of time. So I really like to, I think also because I like people and I like talking to people, so maybe it's an easy one. So maybe I'm just being selfish. I don't know. But just like giving people the time of day and when they come in and maybe giving them more time than they expected and maybe more information than they expected, maybe more information than they wanted, Jim. And just making them feel seen, heard. And I really I like that. And I feel like that goes, people appreciate that. And sometimes you don't have the time, right? Or quotation mark, you don't have the time. You got emails stacking up, you got this coming up, you got a plan for that. But this person maybe took the time to come out to Vortex.
You just had one of those.
We did.
Somebody took the time.
That's why it's top of mind for me.
Who really took some time. Who knows if they'll ever be back.
Right.
This is the moment. They're really into the podcast, and they got a chance to sit and talk with you. And I think they were only expecting, and Ryan, they were only expecting
like a hi and goodbye,
right?
5 minutes. Good to meet you.
Oh, the boys from South Dakota.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, it was a lovely conversation.
Yes.
We talked about deer hunting, everything from deer hunting to spear fishing. Ryan and I might be getting spear guns. You guys are invited too.
We are getting spear guns.
We'll add it to the list.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was just it's really cool. And I guess it's I enjoy it as well. But it's like you said, they took the time to come all the way out here. It's like, my goodness,
I will say this, Mark, since the early days, and this is great, by the way, notorious for some of the longest conversations on the phone, but great conversation. You could feel the enthusiasm and energy, and it could be somebody that we were, spending lots of money with in magazine world or whatever, or it could just be somebody who bought, a Crossfire rifle scope.
You know what my favorite part about Mark's conversations was? I used to sit right next to Mark in the office of the old building, and it was the sign off for Mark. It was the way that the phone conversation always ended. It wasn't necessarily the same thing every time. But what I gathered is that Mark would be the one. Maybe the best way to say this is Mark would not be the one to end the conversation. It was usually the other person's obligations that was required them to be like, "Oh my gosh, look at the time, I got to get going." And Mark would be on there just having a good old time, yucking it up.
Sometimes they'd hang up and I'd still keep going.
Chatting. Yeah. And you could tell that at some point somebody said, "Oh, I got to get going." And it was always just, "Oh, yep, okay, yep. I'll talk to you later, bye." It was a really fast,
hold on.
It's not the way I remember it.
I'll talk to you later, bye. Say it 10 times fast.
I'll talk to you later, bye. That's Mark could say it 10 times fast.
I think that's accurate.
That's too funny. Jim, what do you got in the hopper?
We're gonna
do this in the star pattern. We're gonna put it on like a tire.
Yeah, there you go. I really like one of my favorite companies to deal with ever is Crutchfield.
I knew he was going to go there.
Well, as you should, because they're the only other company that I've ever dealt with that I could brag on.
I've received calls and texts from him middle of the night.
I tell Joe all the time, I'm like, "Go buy something from Crutchfield. I don't care what it is, just buy something."
It's car equipment.
You're gonna love
it.
They do. You're
gonna love the
it's not car
experience,
equipment.
Joe.
They do home video, audio,
okay.
theater. Like they do all kinds of stuff. You can get a TV from them, a stereo system, a record player, whatever. But then a big thing they have always done is car audio and stereo equipment and subwoofers and stuff. So when you're in high school and you want to get a sweet sub in your Jeep, like someone did, yeah, you go to them. And it's like you go to Amazon and you just, you have this a list of different ones you can buy and you're trying to sort out reviews and how it's going to work. Will it fit my vehicle? Will it fit my situation? Whatever. And you're just guessing. You're hoping you get lucky. And of course, Amazon, yeah, you either ship it to you, you can ship it back. It's Prime, whatever. But you go to Crutchfield and they have the craziest website. I don't know how it works. I don't know what kind of magic makes it happen. But you go on the website and you're given like a code that's related to your browsing experience. And I don't know anything about electronics and audio equipment stuff. But I call in, they give you a number that's really easy to call in. Somehow I get a bio of the person I'm talking to right in the lower corner of my web page. And I can see like where they're from and what they're into and like what their favorite music is or something. And then I'm like, hey, I'm looking for something. I got a 2006 Jeep Liberty at the time, kind of a chick car, sorry, but it was. But and I'm like, I got this car. And I want to put like a stereo system. I want it to be able to connect to Bluetooth, so on and so forth. I gave them my filtered list that you normally click through. And the guy goes, yeah, just refresh your page. And I refresh my page and boom, I'm on a product page. And he's like, here's the one I'd recommend. Here's why, so on and so forth. And I'm like, sold, done. Like it's in my price range. It's got everything I wanted, deal. And he's like, cool, okay, refresh your page again. I'm like, okay, refresh my page again. I'm on my cart. And he goes, I added it to your cart for you, and I threw in a couple of freebies to make sure the installation goes well for you. And I'm like, good. Sweet. So, like, I have now not had to click anything in the website. I just, other than refresh. And so anyways.
It's like he hacked into your computer in a good way.
In a good way.
With permission.
With permission.
Yeah, in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, he asked for that, like, code that I have.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So anyways, stuff shows up. I'm installing it in the Jeep Liberty. And I get stuck on a part, and I call up their tech line, and now a tech support guy is talking to me. And I'm like, hey, I'm at this stage here, and like I'm trying to figure out how to do this, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, so like, you want to connect this, that, and the other thing. Okay, so I'm doing that, and I'm like, all right, trying to get the idea of what I do next, and the instructions weren't like the paper instructions I wasn't fully following. Wound up being that like I'm working on this thing for like an hour, and he's on the phone with me for an hour. And like I'm fiddling away and I'm kind of getting impatient because I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's still on the phone. And I'd be like, hey, are you still there? Yep, still here. What do you need? Like, what's that? What part are you on? Oh, well, I'm at this part. I connected these wires, something like that. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, next step you're gonna want to do is connect these wires to this and do this. Okay. Another 15 minutes goes by. Hey, are you still there?
Yep. He's just like listening to you breathe.
What's up? Yeah, basically. I'm like, yeah, maybe. Anyway, he was on the phone with me for an hour while I did the whole install from start to finish. He just walked me through, and it was just kind of like he didn't rush me. It was just, yep, I'm on the phone with you until you get this installed. And so it was great.
I need to have them on the CARE podcast, Crutchfield.
You should. You got to get them.
Absolutely should.
They are
it really sounds
incredible.
like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you need like home audio, electronic, whatever equipment, car audio stuff, Crutchfield is the only way.
I'll say this. When I started here, because I came to the big city from central Minnesota, so Middleton, Wisconsin was the biggest city I'd ever parked in, right? One thing that I was very nervous about, because I'd never worked in an organization as large as we were at that time, and we had about 100 employees then.
Right.
Was how do the phones work, right? And by that I mean like not physically how they work, but how much time can I give a customer if a customer is asking a question or telling a story? Like, do you chop them off? And I was like
looking at data and being like, who's
yeah. And so like that was like a real worry of mine because I'm a talker, and that was never even talked about. The answer was like, yeah, whatever. I mean,
as long as it needs to be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fast forward 12 years, that has been one of the greatest tools and probably what makes our jobs on the phone so easy. And like the other night I was sitting here with Corey. He was on the phone with a customer until 6:30.
Wow.
And it was a split between like the customer had a technical question, but then would get tangential and we would talk about something random. And so I'm sitting there for support on part of the technical side of things. And then this guy's just making his day. But you don't get places that do that any longer. Like it's rarer and rarer and rarer all the time. And it drives me nuts because you would have been on multiple calls with the tech line, like getting one step further and then getting jammed up again. And then you have to make the call again, and then you got to do the
Talk
thing.
to somebody new.
We've never had to do that. Thanks for letting us not have to worry about that.
I once listened to Ryan in the old building talk to a guy who was in Alaska. His rifle had fallen. Something terrible had happened to his rifle. It fell, damaged the scope enough. It was a severe enough fall. It damaged the scope, but it locked, the reticle was locked in a specific place.
Okay.
It was not his zero. Do you remember this? He had a Diamondback rifle scope with a BDC reticle. And the scope had been damaged, like visibly messed up, but the reticle was not moving. And you determined, because you asked him to like take a couple shots. You're like, how much ammo do you have?
Yep.
He's on a remote, hunt, like once in a lifetime spiel in Alaska. Determined that the reticle was not moving under recoil. And then you helped walk him on to, okay, so the reticle is here. Your point of impacts are here. You had him set up something on like a tree. This is what I remember. And I was there till like 7 p.m. doing something else, and I left, and you were still on the phone. And I asked you the next day, like, how long were you on the phone with that guy? I think you were there till like 9:30 talking him onto this whole thing. Ended up being that the guy figured out a way to get his dope such that he could shoot and know where his bullet was going to impact, even though the reticle was kind of jacked, because he was using the BDC crosshairs and kind of creating like a point in space. And he actually completed his hunt and successfully took, I don't know what it was. I can't remember. It was a bear or something. Successfully took one. And you both had kind of determined like a distance that he was comfortable within with this kind of wonky setup, but ended up working. And yeah, we talked about it like the next day, because it was like this guy just absolutely like went from zero chance, I'm in a remote location, everything is effed, to like everything worked and he got it.
It goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, like one, the service mindset, but then two, you hit on it, and certainly for your team. Like one thing that I always thought about with your team is you have to love hunting and shooting, because that's who you're talking to. You're talking to people who eat, sleep, and breathe this. So those guys need to eat, sleep, and breathe it. Be service mindset, and you work incredibly hard, that team. But it's like you guys are doing and excited about the things that those guys are doing.
For us, we get to live vicariously through it.
Yes.
Like, I don't get to go on every hunt that I want.
Right.
I get to talk to a lot of guys and gals that are hunting remote Alaska
on the hunt you want.
Oh yeah,
you would love to. Yeah,
and like I get as much like about that I think as if I went on it, and probably it builds some sort of like anticipatory excitement over going on that hunt in the future for me, because I got to help stitch it up. So yeah, thanks for letting us do that. By the way, it's really cool.
Yeah. It is cool, and collectively you talk about like everything. All of us talked about. We talked about service mindset. We talked about being passionate about the activities, and we talked about time. Like Jim, your story of your positive story from a company outside Vortex was, the guy knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And service mindset and time.
Yeah.
And I also think with that service, like there's an element of like obviously it was not easy for that guy, but when people try to make it easier, it often requires you to take on more, but to make it easier for the other person. So like even where he's like, let's just refresh the page. Just refresh. Like you don't need to make sure you get this in the cart where there are different options, and maybe you get the wrong. Like you just made it easy.
And when you talk to a guy who says like, I don't know, I want good music and I want to play it through Bluetooth, and my Jeep doesn't have Bluetooth. Right. He's like, okay, so this guy really doesn't care about all the beeps and squeaks. He just wants me to refresh his page and have the thing that does it within his price range. That's exactly what he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about a company real quick.
Okay.
Stranders Roofing. They're a local company.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
They do gutters, they do sidings, they do roofs, obviously. So I have a small house, but I needed it re-roofed because it hadn't been re-roofed in 35, 40 years. And it was pretty bad. And this was right when I bought the house. I bought my house during COVID. Nobody inspected anything during COVID. Got the old check mark. Roof is fine. First rainfall, roof is not fine. It's like, okay, I'm going to re-roof the house. And so I shop around, and my dad was in construction management and construction and commercial and residential that kind of work, right? And so he's helping me along with this, like who to look for, how to read their quotes and read their bids and do these things. And like, I'm turning up kind of lemons on the bottom end of the quote deal. And I guess I should have expected that maybe. And then I come up with standards. They weren't even the least expensive, but they came well regarded. And I thought, okay, law of averages says they're probably pretty good. So yep, Stranders is going to come out and do it. I get the estimate. They go up, they check the roof out, they kind of spot check it. And they're like, yeah, everything looks like it's going to be okay, and this is about how much it's going to cost. Cool. So they start on a day, and I come down here, and my phone rings, and they're like, bad news. We pulled your roof off, and you have 54 sheets of plywood on your roof. 53 of them need to be replaced. And I'm like, I am so screwed, because that was back when 5/8 green tree plywood was like, oh yeah. And I'm like, the cost of the roof, like the asphalt component, whatever. Like the sheet component is going to quadruple this quote. And now I'm past the point of no repair or no return, because now I have no roof.
Right.
And 53 of the 54 sheets are shot. And so I'm like, well, do what you got to do. I will never financially recover from this.
I was thinking, I didn't want to drop it twice, but I was thinking it.
It's worth it.
Right.
And it's only 2.5 hours apart too. So,
and I'm like sweating this the whole day. I'm like, what am I going to, this is going to be like a $90,000 roof job on what would have been a $7,000, 1,200 square foot single pitch roof. Right. And, I get done with the day and I go up there and they're just buttoning up, and there's an older gentleman who's walking around, and he introduced himself. He's like, I'm Mr. Strander. I'm like, oh, they had to call the boss out. And I'm like, oh, pleasure to meet you. He's like, yeah, we're so sorry about how long it took. And I'm like, well, don't apologize to me. Like, I get it. Like, where are we at? He's like, we got to come back and we got to finish your little dormer that you have over there. He's like, but we got everything stitched up. There's some storms coming in. He's like, hey, listen, we went around the shop and we found enough pieces of plywood to make this work. We did some shopping around, went to this lumberyard, this lumberyard, this lumberyard, and then to this big box home improvement store, and we found the best pricing on sheets of plywood. Your quote is going to be higher. He's like, but I think we did you really well. And so instead of it being like $117 a sheet, it was like $51 a sheet. And he saved me a tremendous amount of money.
That's huge, times 53.
Yeah. And then he's like, on top of that, he's like, we were down here cleaning up, and he's like, one of my guys got stung by a wasp, and I had come out to help because we wanted to rush and get this done. So we pulled all the crews off the other jobs that were in the area to get you guys done and knocked out because you have a small house. And he goes, I found a couple of ground bee nests. And so I ran into town. I went into the Ace Hardware, and I got, this is foaming ant killer. He's like, I'm telling you, this is the only way to take care of ground bees. And he's like, so I went around your yard, and he's like, I zapped 4 nests. So when you're mowing, you're probably not going to have that issue anymore. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, coming from here, this guy knows what's up. And I'm like, I can't thank you enough. He's like, no sweat. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll get that stitched up. No extra cost on anything. Saved me a ton of cash. Saved me a ton of time. Killed my ground bees. They send me a Christmas card every year.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna need a roof every 20 years.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Let's put the link up.
Yep. Stranders Roofing. It's like, those guys are crazy.
That's
I love that.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Winner.
Well, and then, talking, you're like, oh, they send you a Christmas card every year. Like, that's where I wanted to get into these 2 statements that I have.
Oh, God.
Which tie into the care component. Because, and you talked to this earlier, Joe, we do these things because we want to, and without necessarily like an expectation, right?
Yes, correct.
But I oftentimes say you get what you give. And so 2 comments to finish it off, and this is from, the listeners. We asked them for questions. Thank you, Vortex Optics. That's all, with a bunch of hearts. And not a question, just thank you for always treating us like family with the little heart hands. And so the first one was from the real Micah James, and the second one was from at Klemashevik. Might have said that wrong. I don't know.
Klemashevik.
I don't know. Call me, Jim.
I absolutely don't blame you for your pronunciation. Klemashevik?
Close enough.
Kalishnikov? Who knows?
Kind of got a Cheers vibe on that last one, right?
You know what? I think it's a K. Lemashlavik.
Okay, sure.
Lemashlavik.
I'll buy that.
That's better.
Lemashevik. Lemashevik.
There you go. Regardless,
Samsonite.
Thank you for saying thank you. And thank you guys for joining me. This is an awesome time. A lot of fun. We might have gone a little bit over time. So, the listeners that hung with us, man, we appreciate you. Hopefully we get to serve you
a couple commutes
more in the future. Yeah, this might be a couple commutes depending on how long you drive in the morning. But like I said, thank you guys. Thanks everybody everybody that's out there. This is our first podcast, the new studio. It's cool to do this little collaborative Q&A. And until next time, happy hunting and shooting. Keep the questions coming. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Let's get some corn nuts. There you have it, folks. Thank you very much for listening. As usual, give this video a like if you liked it, comment something below, and give us a subscribe to the Vortex Nation podcast channel. It would mean a lot to us. Also, why don't you give us a follow over on Instagram while you're at it, at Vortex Nation Podcast. We'd love to hear from you over there, and we'll keep you updated with all kinds of cool photos and videos from our adventures that we do here. Otherwise, we will see you on the next one. Thank you again. Happy hunting and shooting, everybody. Have a good one.